Hey, what's going on, everybody? ChazmaN here, back with another stream for you. Today it is Today is Thursday, so that means that I'm going to try and get back. If you haven't seen my new schedule thing I started doing, this week or maybe last week, we're going to be trying to get back to doing some more ChazmaN lives. That's right. Um, I guess immediately I'll also mention, if you guys haven't seen, I'll have to maybe I'll have to create something here for you guys. But I did create a new ChazmaN live channel just for this content. So if you want to know, that channel isn't exactly new. I mean, if you don't know, previously I had a EnteR ChazmaN podcast channel going with me and my friends. That content is kind of very sparse now. We really only do it maybe once every now and then. So that content isn't like completely gone, but it's not really necessarily having like a full channel dedicated to it. So what I did is I went ahead and turned that channel into my ChazmaN live channel. So I'll have to start creating some more advertisements on here. But yeah, a lot of this, I think the ChazmaN lives on Thursday, we're going to be streaming on the main channel, ChazmaN, EnteR ChazmaN, and then over on EnteR ChazmaN live channel, I'm going to be putting all of our highlights, YouTube shorts surrounding that, and I guess kind of having a good time over there. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. All right, so I've actually got a really packed episode of EnteR ChazmaN Live. There's actually a couple of major things that I actually really want to talk about that are kind of super interesting. We're going to be getting into them. If you want to know what exactly I'm going to be talking about, the two main things I think that I found are super interesting is, if you guys haven't seen, EA has recently been bought out by some like venture like capitalist groups. So like Saudi Arabia and a couple of like major organizations along with Jared Kushner have all essentially bought out EA. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit. I'll actually open up with that. And then the other, we'll find some other stuff, but the other major topic that I want to talk about is a lot of the stuff going on with the Game Chasers and Billy and yeah, if you guys don't know, Game Chasers is another YouTube channel. We'll touch on that as well. And then because there's some drama kind of happening there a little bit. If there, the poor man died. If if that wasn't drama enough, there's kind of some other stuff going on with his friend beat 'em ups and like especially kind of weirdly and oddly enough involving LolCow and Boogie2988. It's like really weird. So we're gonna try and learn more about that. Rest in peace, Billy. Over at the Game Chasers. Very very sad thing to hear. But yeah. So how's everyone doing? I see Skylar Twilight's in chat. What's up, Skylar? Thank you so much for joining. All right, so allow me to get ready here. Go ahead and clean my glasses, and then we'll get things going. If there's anything else you guys have major that you might want me to look into or to learn more about, feel free to let me know, either in the Discord or in chat or on YouTube comments. Those are just the two main things I kind of piqued my interest the last couple of days. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and I cannot remember what it was. Yeah, you could tell I got set up pretty last minute here. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Hopefully all of you have had a great Thursday and great week so far, I should say. All right, get these clean real quick. Forgot to do this. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and just jump into it. Yeah, if you have not seen, the video game company EA has recently been bought out. It's been bought out by a like collection of groups. I think it's I have all the info right here, but I personally like, if you want my overall thoughts before we start getting into the specifics, I don't necessarily feel like this is going to be entirely good for EA in my opinion. Not that I feel like EA has already been a well-run company for a very long time now. I mean, I haven't bought a major IP from EA, and I think Jedi Survivor was like the last game I bought from them that I was like, oh, that's not bad. Right, that's good enough. All right, so I'm ready. Let's dive into it. All right, so yeah, as I said here, we're gonna jump in. Oh, let me get rid of the banner. All right, we're ready. So here we go. I've got, like I said, I've got a couple links and stuff already going here for you guys. So first off, yeah, this is per the AP News. Video game Electronic Arts to be bought by largest ever private equity valued at $55 billion. So, I'll read just a little bit. I don't have to read this entire thing because I already got some of it on screen. But yeah, if you don't know, EA essentially is the company behind stuff like all of those big sports games, major sports games that you can think of. Madden, and then they make soccer and stuff like that. They used to make NBA Live. And then they also own Battlefield, Sims, some Star Wars licenses, couple other things. But yeah, so it says here, being acquired by an investor group including Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund and the largest private equity funded buyout in history. It says the investors also include firm by Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, private equity. Silver Lake's partners valued the deal at $55 billion. So that's about all I'll need to read from there. But yeah, so here I actually have the three major partakers in this transaction. Why do I feel like I'm super bright? Let me turn my brightness down. All right, so first off, we have here a company named Silver Lake. So Silver Lake is an American global private equity firm focused on tech. Silver Lake is quartered in Silicon Valley, New York, has offices in Hong Kong. Silver Lake is one that I don't feel like I actually know a ton about. I mean, I guess Silver Lake was founded in 1999. Venture capitalists. Anyways, I don't think I need to read all of this. So, yeah, that's one of our main people involved. We have Silver Lake, and then we also have here, or if you want to know, just in general what private equity is a stock in a private company that does, the reason why, this is mainly the reason why, in my opinion, this is bad for EA, but it's a private company that does not offer stock to the general public. Instead, it is offered specialized investment funds and limited partnerships, take an active role in managing and structures the company's casual usage. Essentially, if you want to know essentially why private equity is bad, is because of that first word in it, private. There's a lot of information involved or there's a lot of information not involved, I should say, and as to where money is coming from. That is the main reason why private equity is such a bad thing, is you have so many companies coming in because their stocks are not publicly traded. Most of the time, I would say private equity is probably used for money laundering and things that are probably illegal or foreign. So, again, that is probably the biggest problem with private equity, is that you don't know where the money's coming from. Therefore, if you don't know where the money's coming from, you don't know who's influencing decisions within the company, or even, I guess, just flat out making decisions in general can be a problem. So, again, I will say EA historically has, in my opinion, for a long time, hasn't been a great company already as it is. I mean, I as someone who's a big NFL fan, big sports head, you would think, oh, ChazmaN probably plays a lot of Madden. I haven't bought in a Madden game since probably Madden 2013 or 2014, because I could kind of see it happening in live, that they were making decisions with that series that I already knew at that time were not going to be good for it. Mainly because I had noticed that the gameplay, audio is good by the way, thank you so much, Skylar. I had noticed that early on that they were not innovating and they weren't doing anything for the gameplay that made it really all that much better. And I had noticed that they were putting in my opinion, it was obvious, they were putting so much game development time into like the animations for opening card packs and the whole Madden booster packs and mystery boxes and all of that stuff. That was something that immediately I noticed, that I'm like, oh, this is where this is where this is going. And I mean, maybe it's been different. I mean, again, 2013, 2014 is what, going on 17, was that really 17 years, 16, 17 years ago? Goodness, I guess so. Wow, that's disappointing. No, just a little under that, probably like 15. Yeah, about 15 years. No, why is my math so bad? Probably 13 to 14 years. But I could kind of see the painting on the wall there. I knew where things were going, and I don't know. As someone in the comments or anyone who's watching this, I would love to know, anyone who I would say modernly plays Madden, is Madden still that bad? I mean, based on reviews and what I hear from Angry Joe, it seems like it is, and that they're still not really majorly modernizing or revolutionizing any sort of aspect of the gameplay. But I don't know. I'm kind of glad I jumped off ship when I did. I'm still playing NFL 2K5 to this day, so that shows you where I've been putting my time in. All right, so Silver Lake is one of the companies. If you want to know the other two major companies, we have Affinity Partners. This is the Jared Kushner aspect of the. It's like the triumvirate of companies that are involved in this sale. Affinity Partners is the other one. Is an American investment firm based in Miami, Florida. It was formed by Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, senior advisor. Kushner's firm received commitments more than $3 billion by end of 2021 to invest in American and Israeli companies that are expanding in India, Africa, and the Middle East and other parts of Asia. The largest investor by some margin is the Saudi government sovereign wealth fund, which we're about to talk about. The public investment fund, which is allocated $2 billion. So here you can see Wikipedia saying that very early on, this what is this company? It's this PIF, this PIF Public Investment Fund, and Kushner's company Affinity Partners. You can see early on that a lot of relationships are being made here, and then here we go. Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund is called the Public Investment Fund. It's a major global fund that invests government money in various sectors to diversify the Saudi economy, develop domestic projects, and generate profits under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. All right, so yeah, I'm trying not to get too politically invested. Again, I kind of would like to focus more on the aspect of EA and exactly what that means for EA, but there have been a lot of conversations and things of the sort about whether things like Saudi Arabia should be things that we're dealing with in general. I think you could make an argument whether that... Hey, Odin is Salty's in chat. What's up, Odin? You can make an argument whether we should or should not be even dealing with that, Saudi Arabia, or... largely, again, this is just stuff that I hear. At this point, most people believe Saudi Arabia, or people involved with maybe the current administration or government over there, may or may not have had... is it proven? I see. I'm going to say allegedly, because I don't know any for sure, but a lot of people seem to say Saudi Arabia was responsible for 9/11, so it's like, I don't know for sure or not. So only reason why I'm bringing this up is because there is more kind of controversy with things in particular with Saudi Arabia. Oh, I totally forgot to bring it up. Let me look it up. There is another thing that's happening that literally is kind of in the news right now with Saudi Arabia, and that is there's a major again, this is super relevant because of things. So there is what is it? It's a Saudi comedy show. Let me see what it's called. I forgot what it's called. This is something I wish I would have remembered to pull up before starting. Is this a good place to be? Are you going to pull my image up? Are you going to give me a good image? There we go. That's probably decent. All right, so here you go. So yeah, if you can see here on the right, actually I'll move me real quick. This is another thing that's kind of been causing controversy that has to do with Saudi Arabia. Is literally there was this big giant festival that's been announced, comedy festival for Saudi Arabia, called the Riyadh Comedy Festival. You can see it takes place in October, and you got all of these big celebrity-ish... I'm making this about Saudi Arabia. Just saying, all of these big comedy people are going over there. Main reason why it's a big deal is because... I guess a lot of these people, it kind of got released that a lot of these people, in order to like do a show over there, they had to agree to all of these different stipulations saying you can't make a joke about this or this or this or this, which again, that is something that Saudi Arabia has been criticized of allegedly over the last a while is for like free speech violations or I guess in general, I guess slavery is another thing. A lot of people speculate that much of like not Abu Dhabi or Dubai, one of those places was largely built due to slave labor. So it's like, it's all a very tricky, slippery slope over there. But yeah, a lot of those comedians are being kind of lambasted because it's like, all you do is joke about free speech, yet you're going over here and you're going to do a comedy show for not it's not just that they were invited or that they're doing a show in Saudi Arabia. You know, nobody has a problem with that. The problem is that they're literally going over there because they're invited by the government, literally by the prince or king, whatever, and it literally is like, okay, and you have to follow this these rules to play here. And it's like really, man? Like someone like Bill Burr or Dave Chappelle who nonstop, I love those guys, but like their entire like shows sometimes are about like free speech and standing up for good things and like not listening to the man and stuff. And it's like, what happened to all that stuff? And now you're just going to take a boatload of money to go to Saudi Arabia and not make a joke and like have to make jokes for like 4 different subjects. I don't know. It's a lot of hypocrisy that a lot of people are kind of ripping on them for. And that's kind of largely the worry with the EA purchase, is because something like a country like Saudi Arabia is so heavily involved. Free speech and things you can talk about and things you can touch on. That is largely a thing that people are worried that now EA is going to be. They're going to have. A very watchful eye basically over what they're talking about or what they can cover in video games. And it's like, I can understand that, So with all of that said, so we have our major players, Affinity Partners, Silver Lake, and PIF. Yeah. So those are the 3 companies. Now, the main reason why I think this could be very bad for EA, which is something a lot of people have been talking about, is how the transaction is occurring. Essentially, I guess this is a way that of major companies buying things out. This is something that only like recently has been steadily picking up steam and becoming a thing. Is it's through something called a leveraged buyout. Scott Odin the Salty said, I heard a story Gabriel Iglesias told about how he performed in Saudi Arabia, and he talked about how he went outside the cities to do his show because it wasn't normally accepted in the main. He went outside the cities, wasn't normally because he wasn't normally accepted in main areas. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. I've never actually been to Saudi Arabia, but from what I understand, a lot of people are just kind of selling out because Saudi Arabia is paying people crazy amounts of money to just either go live there or to perform there. And again, there's nothing wrong with taking money to go perform or to live somewhere. The problem is if you are somebody who cares about things like free speech or democratic norms, then going over someplace that's telling you, we're going to pay you $10-20 million to come over and do something. All we ask is that you just don't ever talk about 10 things. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Like, I don't know. Especially like, at the time, comedy wasn't really accepted thing, so he had to go out in the middle of nowhere where a bunch of people saw him perform, said Odin. So I'm not quite sure what you mean, Odin. He talked about how he went outside the cities because he wasn't normally accepted in Maine. Oh, I see. He also met the prince, yeah. And I guess it would be more understandable if you're a comedian that like doesn't straight up just talk about like free speech and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think that's something that Gabriel Iglesias really talks about in his shows. So I'm less like, I'm less, I gotta say mad. I'm less mad at, I'm more mad at somebody like Bill Burr, who somebody has like built him up to be like this free speech advocate, or someone that stands for good values and like puts it, speaks strike the power or whatever, and is willing to talk crap about the man and stuff. So it's a little hypocritical to like, oh, I'm all for this, and this, but yet I'm gonna go perform and willing to take money to a government that's like, I don't know. I'm probably talking in circles, but I'm people are getting paid very well right now to sell out. Again, I wouldn't consider it selling out if there weren't stipulations for you to go somewhere. Like if they go and perform anywhere else, is there like a stipulation? Like if they go to like, I don't know, I randomly Sweden or something, I guarantee you Sweden is not saying, hey, you can't. Sweden is not like taking in Metallica to play a show and then is saying, well, you can't play, I don't know, what's a military song? You can't play the song One because it has to do with a war or something. And it's like, no, dude, Metallica's not doing that. It must have been a lot for money for Bill Burr to break his values like that. Yeah, from what I understand, they're paying, I think, oh, that would have been a good, here, I'll pull it up. Another person that actually talked about it was Shane Gillis. So I'll pull it up, you guys, for Shane Gillis talking about, because he actually got an offer. Okay.
I should have taken.
All right, so here you guys. So this is somebody who actually got an offer, so he can tell you more about it than maybe I. How loud is this going to be?
I should have taken I got to take the Saudi Arabia deal. I should have taken it. I'm washed.
So I do get the fact that they perpetrated 9/11.
I'm not doing it.
That is good. I admire that.
Then they doubled the bag, and I was like,
They doubled the bag, the princes?
it was a significant bag.
What?
But I'd already said no. I took a principled stand.
Yeah, against Saudi Arabia.
It wasn't even that. I didn't even think about it.
I thought we were allies with
I didn't
Saudi
even
Arabia.
really think. Yeah, we are. We give them a ton of.
So why the hell they do 9/11 to us?
Wasn't Osama bin Laden just from Saudi Arabia?
Every single hijacker, basically.
Yeah.
Was Saudi.
Yeah, you don't 9/11 your friends, bro.
Don't 9/11 your friends.
You don't. That's up.
And go over and go, hey guys, you guys want to talk about? I was in 7th grade when you guys did that. It was nuts. I should have taken the.
But yeah, that's one person kind of talking about it, and there was another person. I think Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon had also talked about how he had an offer. His is actually pretty funny. Let's look at Tim Dillon talking about that. Oh man, I've made this into a thing just talking about Saudi Arabia. All right, I'll cut it there. But yeah, I guess this is kind of more just we're talking about where things could possibly go with EA, and again, not saying that EA has been on the right track in terms of a proper business model or proper business management in forever. I don't know if I mentioned it, but to me, the only good thing they've made over the years has been the Jedi Survivor series. But anyways, I keep branching off. So I had mentioned it before, but the big thing that we're gonna watch and learn about, I think it would be kind of hard to have someone like Shane Gillis to joke with restrictions, because he talks about all sorts of stuff in terms of politics and history. Oh no! I agree with you. I don't think Shane is like probably the best best person to lean on in terms of, at least for me, for my values and stuff. But I was just more looking at somebody who, I was more trying to just show that like these offers are a thing. That you were talking about how Bill Burr must have gotten paid a lot to go, where Shane Gillis there just said that he had said no, and then when he said no, they doubled the amount of money to give him. So I guarantee you they probably offered these guys like $5 million or something, and then when somebody like Bill Burr says no, I'm not comfortable with that, it's like, oh yeah, well, how's 10 million? And that's probably how they get like a Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr or somebody to join up for something like that. All right, enough of that. So what the main thing I want to talk about here with the EA buyout, and what I think is probably the most interesting aspect, is how the transaction occurred. It was through something called a leveraged buyout, which I will be completely honest, I don't know much about. So that's what we're going to do here, is we're going to watch somebody's video, and I'm going to try and obviously add some commentary onto their video. But yeah, I kind of want to see someone explain it a little bit. So we'll put it. So here's a video of someone explaining what a leveraged buyout is, which I'm very curious about. So shout out, this channel is King Academy. So thank you so much, King Academy. They're going to explain what a leveraged buyout is to me, because I'm a dumb head. Here we go.
Hey guys, Kieran King here. Today we are talking about leveraged buyouts, or LBOs, a mechanism for essentially buying a company used by mainly private equity firms. Now, you may have heard of leveraged buyouts or LBOs before in the press, and probably not in the most positive light, and I'm going to talk to you about why a bit later on. But first, let's dive into the concept and learn a little bit about it. In short, an LBO leverages the acquisition company's assets to obtain debt finance to buy the company, as opposed to buying it with full equity. Now, if that means gibberish to you, then let's look at an example. John has a company, XYZ company, that he has run successfully for 30 years. The company is quite stable and does about 15 million in pre-tax revenue every year. After tax, which is say a third of his revenue, so minus 5 million of tax, his net revenue is 10 million a year. Now, this company has other assets like factories and machineries too, crucial things needed to make the business tick. John takes his salary every month and pays himself a nice dividend when he can. However, he is now reaching retirement, he's worked hard all his life, and he wants to sell his business and effectively cash out for a lump sum so he can enjoy the fruits of his hard work. A private equity firm approaches John and makes an offer to buy the company for £100 million. Now, John is quite happy with this deal, as it's basically 10 times his annual net revenue. And these guys, John and the PE firm, they sit down to talk. Now, the PE firm could just give John £100 million worth of cash for the company. And if the business is making £10 million a year, that's essentially a 10% yield for the PE firm. However, that is a big chunk of cash for the PE firm to give out in one go, so instead they go down the route of an LBO. The PE firm puts down £10 million of its own money in exchange for equity in the company, which is 10%. It then goes to a bank to borrow the rest, which is £90 million. Now, the bank is not just going to give the PE firm £90 million unless that money is secured against something. And that something is the assets of XYZ company. This means that if the PE firm defaults on its payments to the bank can come in and acquire the assets. The bank will also, of course, charge an interest rate of, say, 10% a year. This means that repayments to the bank each year are 10% of 90 million, which is 9 million.
Okay, so if you want me to kind of explain what's happening here, now that I'm honestly learning about this real time as well. I kind of understand what's happening here, though. Hey, Veronica Roche just joined. What's with the math lesson? All right, real quick. I'll sum up essentially where we're at. We essentially started talking about EA has recently been bought out by a company between Jared Kushner's affinity firm, Saudi Arabia, and then was it Silver Lakes. Now, this major acquisition from EA and them was for, oh gosh, what was the number for? It was like 500 billion or something like that. What was it? I don't even remember. Yeah, what was the deal even for? 55 billion. Not nowhere near 500. So $55 billion EA Games is being bought out for. Where's that video I was just watching? Right here. So the main reason why is, one, you know, I wouldn't say being bought out by Saudi Arabia is probably the best thing for any democratically operated company, but I think more what's kind of, in my opinion, what doesn't seem like it's very good is how the transaction is occurring. How these three major companies all group themselves up to purchase this one company in EA is through something called a leveraged buyout. And that's the whole point of us watching this video, is I'm trying to figure out what a leveraged buyout is, because it's not something I am accustomed to. So this guy explained it really well. I'll try my best to make it sound even easier. So he is saying that this person, John, it's just a representation. This person, John, owns a company, this XYZ company, and they own their assets. So they have the XYZ company and then all of the XYZ company's assets. The company generates $15 million a year, but gets taxed $5 million a year. Therefore, their net profits for the year are $10 million. So therefore, per year, XYZ company is worth approximately $10 million. Right, so we know per year, XYZ is worth $10 million. That is how big the company is. Based on that you know the net profit of this company, you know approximately how much the company is worth. So someone who's coming in to buy it, which would be this firm here, technically the conglomerate of the three companies, Affinity, Silver Lake, and the PIF, is that what it was, publicly investment, whatever, the Saudi Arabian company. So those three are represented by PE firm. And then of course the bank there where they get their money from, because that's how you're going to pay for the transaction. So, typically what this company would do is they would flat out, like you said, to buy the company because they know it's worth 10 million or whatever, rather than just paying a flat rate of 100 million or whatever to buy the company. They're doing something called a leveraged buyout with the bank and with XYZ. So what happens here is the firm, the company buying it, would only give them 10 million because they know per year this company is worth $10 million. So 10% of whatever they're going to, or whatever the payment is supposed to be. So they're going to pay John and whatever this company is, which would be EA. So this is EA. This is the conglomerate of companies right here with Jared Kushner in Saudi Arabia. So they're going to pay EA, or whoever owns EA or whatever, 10% of whatever it is. So it probably would be, 10% of 55 billion. Gosh, my math is terrible. What would that be? Probably like 5 billion or something immediately. So, gosh, I'm like the worst at math. Let me play the music. It'll make me sound smarter. So yeah, they're gonna pay them 10% of whatever it is the company's worth.
Yeah.
And then the bank is gonna pay over a period of time. Is gonna pay this 90 other percent of however much the company's worth, and then that's all gonna eventually lead up to this 100 or not 100, to whatever EA is worth. So whatever EA is worth is eventually going to reach this number. They're only initially going to get 10% for the deal. Bank slowly over time is going to pay the rest of this full amount. Now, I'm sure he's going to explain it, but maybe I'll explain it myself. The main reason why this is bad, in my opinion, is because he actually says it right here, but see how it's the assets of XYZ or X. I'm glad I'm getting to learn more about this because every Instagram comment talking about this says it's a random edgy stuff. Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think when I look in the comments, most people are just talking about woke stuff, and I'm like, to me, woke is such an analogous term. It's like, I don't know what that means. Nobody knows what that means. I think people are just throwing that term onto something they don't like. It's like, oh, I don't like this. That's woke. It's like, can you explain a little bit? Plays the track where you sued from Five Nights at Freddy's 6. But so essentially, why this is bad is essentially for only 10% of the value, or whatever percentage. I guess we don't really know what percentage. I don't know the specifics of the leverage buyout with EA, but whatever this smallish percentage is right here, this essentially is going to cover the transaction for EA. And why this is bad is because essentially the entire amount isn't covered. because it isn't just we step in and we buy this amount of this company. This transaction essentially means that because the bank is fronting this 90 million or this other large percentage, 90%, this means that this company, which is going to be EA, is already in debt to the bank for 90% of the value. You get what I'm saying? So the main reason why this is bad is because this means over this period of time for this entire transaction to go through, the company here that buys EA games, I forgot to mention this blue here. See how this says secured? And it says this is blue, this secured is blue, the assets of the company. Because this assets are secured by PE firm, that means that day one, when they give this 10%, slowly over time, because EA has to essentially pay off this transaction, EA, or the company that owns EA, can slowly begin to sell assets of EA in order to pay for that, or the bank, I guess, could technically sell the assets in order to slowly pay for that acquisition. So that's why this is such a bad transaction, in my opinion, is because EA already is in debt with this transaction. Because it's not a flat equity buyout where it's like, and he also mentioned that the bank, technically, he shows over here, there's a 10% penalty because, bank takes interest on top of any buyout or anything. So in my opinion, it's bad because these assets slowly over time, because EA they have to generate profit to slowly pay off that transaction. So it's bad because, one, there's going to be far more pressure on top of EA to produce, which EA already is like one of the most people already consider them an extremely greedy, bad business practice company. So it's like, so EA's probably going to lean even more into microtransactions, probably lean even more into probably cutting at certain positions, cutting maybe. And that's another thing is, like, technically an asset, a part of EA would be IPs. So like this company or EA slowly over time, because they're going to be upfronting to pay the bank for that, however much that gets fronted. I mean, they could start selling off IPs because they have to pay it off. So it's like, I mean, I guess probably the one thing they could get the most money for selling would probably be the Star Wars license. Which I will say, this whole thing that's happening here with this transaction is not a new thing. There was a company called Embracer Group. I think we've talked about them on the channel at some point, me and my buddy Phoenix. But Embracer Group went through this entire same thing, and guess what Embracer Group started doing because they owed so much money? Is they had to start selling off IPs, which would be an asset. So that's why this is such a big problem, is that EA immediately day one after this transaction has a bunch of expectations and probably is going to have a bunch of dang, I hope they don't mess with my skate game I like playing, says Odin. I no guarantees. I mean, that could be something. I mean, again, and all an IP is an asset to a company. So I don't know. We'll keep watching the video. I'm sure he'll do a much better job of explaining. But essentially, that's where I see the problem coming in as, is these companies that are buying something like EA, they care about the profit. They don't really care about the people or the development studios within it. They care about what's generating profit. So, I mean, not saying EA doesn't, before this EA didn't, but like, it can be a problem if something like let's say something like Battlefield, which has already been under a lot of scrutiny the last couple of years. Let's say this new Battlefield bombs that comes out in a couple of weeks. What's going to happen to something like Battlefield? It's very, very tricky. So let's continue listening here.
9 million. So hang on, you might be thinking, now the PE firm has to pay £9 million a year of interest on the borrowed money. Why would they do that? And that's a really good question, but this is where the whole magic happens. Now remember, the PE firm has only put down £10 million of its own money. and company XYZ does around 15 million in turnover a year. Now remember, £9 million a year goes back to paying the bank plus interest, leaving us with £6 million. Of that, let's say 1/3 again goes to the taxman, leaving us with a post-tax revenue of the business of £4 million. Now £4 million a year, based off a £10 million investment, because that's how much they put down originally, they didn't put down all of it, is now giving a yield of 40% a year, which is much better than the 10% scenario where the PE firm had put down 100% cash. And over time, as the debt position of the company decreases due to the repayments back to the bank, the PE firm's equity position of the business increases. And before long, it owned 100% of XYZ company anyways. So do you see how this is so much more beneficial to the PE firm? They have put less money down, but they're getting a better rate of return. Okay, so why do these sort of deals get bad press? Simply put, it's because the debt is secured against the assets of the acquired company. If the PE firm can't keep up its high interest repayments, the knock-on effect on the acquired company could result in layoffs, shutting down of departments, unemployment, and so on. In many cases, healthy companies that would have worked absolutely fine in the past and have worked for many years have suffered due to being on this end of the transaction. So looking at the same example, the business one year may only do £10 million in top line turnover as opposed to £15 million. Remember, £9 million is repaid to the bank, the lender, and is only left then with £1 million, of which tax needs to be paid, and suddenly the net income of the business could be around £700,000 as opposed to the pre-leveraged buyout income of what would be around £6 million in this scenario. And with £700,000, the business might not be able to reinvest that money. It might not be able to do the things it wants to do with the business to help it grow. And it's sort of like a downward spiral, which eventually leads to the stuff we spoke about before, like unemployment, shutting down of factories, assets being sold off, etc., just to make ends meet. Basically a less than ideal situation. So there you have it, a very simplified explanation of leveraged buyouts. There is a lot more detail we can go into, and I'll be looking at doing some more videos on.
So if you guys didn't catch that, he essentially was talking about this is an awful deal for the company. It's an awful deal for the company here being bought out. It's a great deal for the PE firm because they're only putting up 10% of whatever the value is, and then the bank is receiving 10% interest of whatever the deal is from the company. So all of the pressure is put on EA to pay an additional 10% to whatever the transaction is. And this company, they only put in this much money. They only have to put in that much. And then slowly over time, their equity in the company goes up from 10% over time. So this company, all it does is win. Gaming might be a little cooked for a while. Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone do what? I mean, for the people, the people on top of EA don't have anything to worry about. Andrew, I almost called him Andrew Ryan. That'd probably be a pretty good name. And it's people like Andrew Wilson or other people, they don't care because they're receiving probably a large amount of whatever this 10% is. So they don't care. But definitely to me, it sounds as though this type of transaction is a net negative for EA. Because look, I mean, he was showing you how bad this is. So revenue, interest, look how much interest is paid. And then look how much money. So imagine you revenue $10 million a year. I'm not even looking at the numbers, I'm just saying. But look at $700K as your net profit as a company for making $10 million due to this transaction. That is not good if you're like a major company. Now granted, this is probably small scale. Imagine this probably on a much bigger scale, but I don't see how this is anything good for EA. And I'm not even, again, we're not even looking at like the actual principles and ethics of the companies themselves. I'm just looking at the leveraged buyout aspect, which is something I'm glad I'm looked into because this is something I knew absolutely nothing about. But all of this on screen spells bad. Now, what it probably means is what Odin Assaulty was saying about feeling bad about Skate. I would most definitely say what's probably going to happen is a lot of those smaller IPs, unfortunately, Odin, I think eventually you're going to see those assets that are secured are probably eventually going to get sold off. Unfortunately, because I think what's probably going to happen is they're only going to want to keep the PE firm is probably only going to want to keep the big hitters stuff. Probably like they're probably hoping this next Battlefield does really well, and maybe that how well this next Battlefield does determines whether they're going to get kept or not. But I would anticipate probably they'll probably only keep stuff like Star Wars and Battlefield and maybe Sims, probably the biggest stuff. But smaller stuff, probably like Skate, that's probably going to get gone. They own the Lord of the Rings license, which, like, I don't even... When's the last Lord of the Rings game EA even made for them? But let's see. Also, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate being $30 a month now has been pretty crazy to see. Apparently, so many people canceled the subscription that the site crashed, as Odin Salty. I saw something about that. I honestly was going to talk about that, but I'm not particularly crazy interested in that. Maybe we could watch a video or two on that. How long have I been going? 47 minutes on EA, goodness. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like a loan shark in disguise. Well, it's not really in disguise, though. I mean, I can see how it could feel very loan sharky, because there are loan. This is a loan. This is a big time loan, essentially given to the PE firm. Or you know what? It's not even to the PE firm. The loan is to... No, it is to the PE firm. I don't know. This whole thing... 30 G's, yeah. Essentially, they increased monthly the Game Pass Ultimate up to like 30. It's up $10 more a month. Ow! Oof, tailbone's already feeling it. All right. Is there anything else I care to say about this? Essentially, in my opinion, to me, this doesn't really seem all that great. Real quick, let me just look at the companies that are involved within EA. EA Games IPs right now. So I want to take a quick peek and just see what they might... I guarantee you a lot of these are going to get sold off. Just give me their IPs. Google. Electronic Arts. Give me IPs. I looked this up the other day. EA Games IP. Alright, here we go. So, Game Pass Ultimate was 20 before they brought it up to 30. That's a 50%. That's not 50%, but that would be, what, a 33% increase, I think. Right? Because that would be... I think that's like a 33% increase. But that's still pretty cool. Who cares? That's still freaking high for... Xbox is in trouble, man. I'm very glad I got my Xbox, whatever. I think the price of the normal Xbox went up like $100 as well. And then the price of the new ROG Ally, that's up. That's like $10,000. That's like $1,000 console now. It's crazy. Xbox is they must be really hemorrhaging for money. So so let's look at these IPs that are involved with EA. So let's see, stuff like, there's stuff here that's pretty dormant. I mean, I guess technically the BioWare stuff, Mass Effect and Dragon Age. I think that stuff's gonna get sold off. I can imagine. I don't think Dragon Age did. I'm curious. Did the newest Dragon Age sell well? Did the new Dragon Age sell well? Let's see. No, the latest Dragon Age game, Veilguard, did not sell well, as it significantly missed its sales targets. The game publisher EA expected 3 million players with the first 2 months, but it only reached 1.5. It only got half of its expected viewership. Okay, so didn't sell well. Sad to see Xbox being cooked right now, because they were doing pretty good just the beginning of this year with the games they had on there. Xbox was doing so well up until this year. And then, well, I don't want to say so well, but they were doing pretty well up until last year. And then they just started doing a bunch of stupid things. Glad I bought my Series S before all the price increases. Yes, that was definitely a smart move. A lot of people hated the new Dragon Age. I liked Inquisition. I liked Inquisition, but I haven't played the new one. I'm not interested. It didn't look very good to me. All right, so something like Dragon Age and Mass Effect, I would anticipate those are gone. Sims is such an interesting. Does Sims sell well? I don't even know. Does the Sims series sell well? I don't even... Okay, so Sims does really well, it says. Okay, so Sims is probably something they'll keep. I would anticipate Sims, all of the sports stuff. Sims, sports, and probably Battlefield and Apex. That's probably stuff that's going to get kept. I would think anything else other than like that, maybe Need for Speed. Man, I would think the only stuff, and a lot of complaints I saw were about one specific character. I think it only makes profits on packages and extensions. Ah, I see. Well, but yeah, I don't know. That's all I got to say about EA. Again, I'm not like terribly enthusiastic about anything that's kind of going on there. What would you down in the comments, what do you guys think? Are you guys hopeful for EA, or do you guys think it's just going to continue being the same type of thing for EA? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys think. Yeah. We got some Sims heads in the chat here. Alright, so best of luck, EA. I will admit I am very interested in the newest Battlefield. It's probably the first time I've been interested in a Battlefield game in a while. I'll probably end up playing it at some point, but man, there's a lot of pressure on Battlefield right now to do well with that game. EA's cook, said Veronica. See, I wouldn't just say it's EA in particular. I think the AAA video game industry is cooked in general. It's the same issue as with every industry right now. Is there's way too much money involved, and not just money, but there's way too many greedy hands just involved. You got all of these people that are wanting to profit, and if you don't have people that actually care about the art, care about video game making, aren't willing just to make maximum profit, you've got nothing but greedy kind of money sharks just all involved trying to rip apart every part of industry. Like again, this leverage buyout thing with EA, in my personal opinion, is not good for any particular company. I mean, all it's going to lead to is that aspects of EA is going to start getting sold off, and then maybe eventually the main company that owns EA is probably going to keep like 5 of those game IPs and probably sit on those for the rest of time. You know what I mean? They'll probably just say, okay, all we're doing is we're going to keep Sims, we're going to keep Star Wars, we're going to keep Battlefield, and maybe 1 or 2 other ones. You know what I mean? I think that's all it's going to eventually lead to. Everything else that you might care about there is going to get sold off, which again, not necessarily a bad thing. Again, I think a game like Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has definitely got me like hopeful about the future of game making. A game doesn't have to be made by a AAA developer to be good. There's always going to be smaller development studios that spring up and make great stuff, which hopefully major development studio or major publishers can take notice of that at what happens there. I doubt it, because those are those are owned by greedy capitalists, but you never know. All right, that's all I got to say. All right, so what do you guys want to move on to next? I only have one other major topic. This one's kind of a downer, a very sad topic, but we're gonna move on here. Furrow and Silk Song, said Veronica Rose. Yeah, I think that's a smaller studio as well. So let me turn the music off. This is more of a somber tone. Somber and kind of messed up. So we're going to talk about here. Who in chat has ever heard of something called the Game Chasers? I know as for me, I've definitely like up until learning more about this situation, I have known about the Game Chasers. I know of them. I would admit I don't think I had ever watched any of their content or consumed any of it, but I definitely heard of them. They're definitely a big name in like video game collecting and a lot of that niche audience. But honestly, something I should be more involved within. I collect video games and like talking about nerdy stuff, and I probably should be something I was into, but I never really got into them. So if you didn't see, there was one of the primary guys on on Game Chasers, the channel, a guy by the name of Billy. Just very recently, I think he passed away within the last week or two. If you don't know, he, I believe, within a month of finding out that he had like, oh gosh, I don't remember what it was. He had cancer of some sort. It might have been a tumor. He just, I guess, went to the hospital and immediately found out he had some major cancer and died within almost a week of getting it. So like a super incredibly fast, sad, death. I'm I hate to say there's any bright sides, I mean, maybe, at least having a month, you have some time to spend with, hopefully you at least have some time to spend with your family and whatnot. But yeah, that's very, very sad and very brutal to learn you have a month left to live. But that's essentially what happened with this guy from the Game Chasers, Billy. Um, and honestly, I didn't even hear about it through his passing. Unfortunately, I heard more about this because there's like a bunch of drama coming out of it. I'm not gonna say a bunch. There's some drama coming out of it, mainly from losers on YouTube, and which we'll dig into. But real quick, we'll watch just a little bit. But if you guys don't know, another channel that I actually really like is this guy here. Forgot his name. Beat 'em ups. Wood's his name. The guy on the left. I actually really like beat 'em ups. I've been watching him for a long time. I think he was like one of Billy's best friends from the channel, and then the guy on the right here, I think, is Billy's actual brother. Yeah, they're all very good friends from going to game trading events and stuff like that. So real quick, we'll watch a little bit of this. Very sad, very disappointing. Again, I think mainly what I'm going to be talking about is kind of the really messed up part about his death, unfortunately. Essentially, people, if you haven't heard of the Lolcow podcast or channel with Keemstar and Boogie2988, there's some really weird stuff going on over there involving Wood and Billy and all of that stuff, which is kind of messed up considering when someone passes like this, you would think people would be respectful and just like not create controversy. Boogie can't help himself apparently. So real quick, let's watch this video. This is put out by Beat 'em Ups, and he's just very somberly talking about their friend.
Billy lost his our best friend, and our brother Billy lost his fight with cancer after 1 month of
I think that's awful. Yeah, very bad, very sad.
Me and Robbie, we were with him every single night. It was either me or him in his room, his house, his hospital, his rehab. And we have his story. And we want to share it with you guys because we want to honor him. And we want to honor the heroicness of him. And also just share how strong he was in his final moments and how positive he was. And hope that that brings peace to everybody struggling with his passing, to know just how much ass he kicked in those last 4 weeks. This is Robbie, by the way, who has been on this channel once before, apparently, a long time ago.
Very
I don't remember it, but here he is again. And he was Billy's best friend. He is Billy's brother, actually, and has been for over 30 years.
31.
And it is an honor to sit with you and have you with me telling this story.
Thank you.
And we are brothers now, too.
Yeah.
Before I start, I have a message from his wife that she would like me to read, and so I'm going to do that. Thank you for supporting and praying for my husband and our family during this difficult time. We understand Billy was a large part of your lives and want to give you all closure. On the business side, we are currently sorting through any and all unfilled pledges that were made to the Game Chasers or merchandise, whether it be from Indiegogo or Kickstarter campaigns. We will, and she capitalized will, ensure that those who supported Billy's endeavors will receive what was promised to them. It's been very important to her, and it was very important to Billy. Regarding the future of the Game Chasers YouTube channel, we recognize what Billy's presence means to the community and are advocating to preserve it in accordance with Billy's final wishes. On the personal side, Billy stayed positive and fought hard to the end because of the hope you all gave him, and he did not suffer in his final moments. Thank you to everyone who respected and protected Billy and our family's privacy for the last several days while we were processing losing a father, a husband, a son, a brother, a grandson. An uncle and nephew and a cousin. Finally, today, more than 100,000 patients are awaiting transplants. In the US, approximately 13 to 17 people die every day waiting for life-saving organ transplants. Billy often stressed about what meaning and value his life had in the world. In the end, he opted to bestow the gift, life, upon others by donating his vital organs to save lives. Billy will live on in others. Again, thank you for being a part of Billy's life and helping his passion projects in the gaming arena become a reality. You will say he inspired you, however, you were all his inspiration to continue creating content. That was a very beautiful message from his wife, and the sentiment comes from his entire family.
All right, well, we don't need to watch the entire thing, but yeah, that's essentially Billy's brother and Wood. Yeah, again, big fan of beat 'em ups, and I guess to kind of lay the groundwork, there is they're not really talking about it now, which is understandable out of respect for their friend that passed away. There is, from what I understand, some drama in the background, mainly having to do with Billy's partner. I think it's the other person, the other host of the channel. And I guess there's a little bit of controversy as to the future of the Game Chasers, either brand or the YouTube channel. It sounds as though Wood, who is working with the wife, I guess the wife is kind of the one who's going to be focused or figuring out, I guess they're going to be figuring out what the future of the channel is. For now, though, it seems like everyone is just focused on remembering Billy and all of the actual like funeral and wake and remembrance and all of that stuff, which is good. You know, even if there's like drama in the background, put that on hold, deal with that post all the ceremony and everything, and be respectful, which it sounds like they're doing, right, Chad? Everyone, that's the correct thing to do with after someone's passing, even if there is there's this one reaction group I watched of one of the guys that went on there, had a child that would hang out in videos, and apparently he passed. Yeah. But again, right? Like, this all seems great. You know, everyone's putting off any problems they might have to post all of the events and all the respectful part. Well, wait. Of course, Boogie2988 over on the LolCow channel apparently is not so nice and not willing to do some of those same respectful things. So, again, I don't need to watch the whole thing. If you want to definitely check it out, go to, I think it's on Beat 'em Ups' channel, in honor of our brother Billy. Go check out Beat 'em Ups. I love his videos and stuff. And go check out the Game Chasers if you've never watched them. So, on to, well, actually, let's show this other video too. This is very sad, but this is, I guess, Billy. He was putting out a couple videos during his
hey everyone,
final final month.
Long story short, everything's going to be on pause for the foreseeable future because I'm in the hospital with a brain tumor, and I wanted to make this video because I know there are a lot of people out there that actually care, and I could definitely use some good vibes coming my way. Some prayers if that's your thing. And I don't plan walking out of this, I plan on running out of it. So, thank you everybody, I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Yeah, so as you can see, very, very heartbreaking. He definitely, I think he put out a couple more videos, and very sad. Making me sad. And the main guy who in the channel said his band would do a show to make money for his awareness. I see. Yeah, so like, again, like, very sad. I think it seems like for the most part everyone involved who is, I should say, directly involved is very respectful, and there's, you know, even if there may be some drama in the background, it doesn't seem like there's any fixation on the drama part. They're all putting that off for the respectful part. Well, again, as I was alluding to, there are some people who don't agree with that. So let's look into this drama. I guess we'll let H3 kind of wrap some of it up, but
having a collapse, tragic collapse on Friday, and there's an update. Boogie calls out Wood.
Oh no, this is the wrong. Okay, I got the wrong video. Hold on, give me 1 sec. My apologies. I totally pulled up the wrong video. That's the follow-up video. I wanted the original. It must be really weird to be on the end of your life and having to make a message for your viewers. Yeah. Honestly, I would think that's probably like small fry compared to the aspect of dying. You know what I mean? Like that's probably easy compared to like trying to like resolve things with your family and figuring out those other major things. Like making the video is probably easy, I would think. Oh gosh, where was... Oh, gosh, I thought I had the video pulled up and I had the wrong one. Like, give me 1 sec. I gotta figure out where this is.
Least
No, let me turn the music on. Nice Wii music. Where you going, man? Where you going? A great time.
So I like that
Yeah.
Okay, I think I found it. The Wii music will calm us. Yes. See? All right, here we go. I think I found what I was looking for. So again, I'm going to let them kind of talk about it a little bit because I feel like
Let's give it up for Dan.
They did a really good job, I felt like, of kind of recapping what's kind of happening here.
You got this shit, Dan. You're so smart.
Okay, let me ask you a more important question. Are we having fun?
Well, some people are.
Are we having fun?
Yeah.
I see. Jeff, I'll give you a pass because I like you. Jeff's on his phone. Nothing. I get so angry. I get so angry. But you get a pass this time because you're a great guy.
If you guys could let me know how the audio is. Too loud or too
How is
low.
those edibles hitting?
Good. I think, yeah.
It's settling.
Starting to get a little better, yeah.
It's good for you guys. Glad you're having fun. All right, so this is the... So what set us up, baby? What's going on at Locale?
Yeah, so I haven't been keeping up for a while, but recently I've been seeing clips on...
I have a Wii, but it can't really read discs anymore. Can't play no Guitar Hero 3 on it. Oh, I'm sorry. I have like 3 Wiis, I think. I think I even have 1 in the box. Yeah. Oh, I got 2 in the box. So that means I probably got like 4 Wiis.
Reddit. So I guess Keem is taking a break. He's over. And if I get any detail wrong, I'm so sorry to the local audience. I'm trying to keep up. But he took a break for a week because he's just upset. He feels like the others aren't putting in the same amount of work as him. He took some time off. During that time off, Boogie claimed that Keemstar would not let him off for his friend's funeral. And
so, as AB just stated, that is the premise that's happening here. Keemstar, host of the show, on vacation. Boogie 2988 upset because he wanted to go to his funerals. His buddy, he claims, his buddy's wake, Billy. And if you don't know a wake is not necessarily a funeral. A wake is sometimes an event that is held before a funeral, where people tend to go, and it's more of like a celebratory aspect of the person's passing. Actually, I don't remember if a wake is typically... I don't know if it's before or after a funeral, but typically the vibe at a wake is more of a happiness, celebratory aspect. the funeral is more the place and time for people to be more sad and have like, to let it all out, basically. Wake is more of a happy, we love this person and good memories type stuff.
Keemstar did not like that. So Keemstar called in 2 days in a row to prove his innocence.
Okay.
He called in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which that is what Boogie298 is saying he wanted time off to go to his buddy Billy's wake, not a funeral.
So these guys are hosting it without him?
Yep.
Wow.
Now, people were...
Without Keem?
People were concerned that when Wings of Redemption left the show, it would lose its heart. Without Keemstar, there's no fucking show. I mean, he is the...
He's the show, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. He's the glue.
He's the glue. He's the brains.
Too bad.
He's the circus. He's the leader. He's the ringleader.
He's the ringleader, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys thirsty? You guys like boba?
Yes.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Oh. Are you off?
Yeah, let's get some boba. I was yanking your chain, but let's get some boba. What kind of boba you guys like? Just the regular, plastic, honey milk, and all that type of stuff. Ube?
Honey
milk. Ube. Stop. I know
Cantaloupe.
Oh, is that the flavor, ube?
Yeah, ube.
It's like whatever they make in that powder, I think they got. But
Powder? That doesn't sound holistic. Whatever has powder for Jeff. I'll take
Got
a
me
regular
some
one,
pumpkin
not sweet,
spice
thank you so
coffee.
much. Yeah, we're gonna get boba today. 'Cause
Pumpkin spice coffee is always something that like I always buy it. I'll like whenever like I feel like I buy it once every other month or like whenever it's available. I'll buy it and I'm like, ooh, I'm in the mood for it. And then I drink like 1 or 2 coffees with it and I'm like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm very plain. I either want like a chocolate flavored creamer or just French vanilla. Or hazelnut. I actually really like hazelnut as well.
You know, I don't treat the live audience every time, but because today we're having so much fun, we're gonna go do that for you guys. So thank you. Yeah. All right. So to the lolcows. Wow, Keem has really stepped down.
I can't believe he needed a week break. That's something must be pretty heavy there.
And my first question to AB when I heard about this was,
and that is kind of another thing that people are wondering with lolcow is has Keemstar like legitimately quit it or not? I think it's all just a joke and he hasn't actually quit, but he hasn't been on the show I guess in a while, so it's all just Wings of Redemption, which is this guy here, and then Boogie298. I cannot believe I used to be such a big fan of Boogie, and like now he just kind of, I mean, he's on the lolcow podcast, so he is just like he's probably the biggest lolcow in the internet right now. Just a very hateable guy.
Because they are kind of like real world WWE stuff.
Yeah.
You think it's real though?
I think it's real. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's serious stuff. I mean,
you're
this
the
is.
doubter. Do you think this is real or planned?
I haven't seen it yet, so I'll give you my verdict during the show.
I saw him. I think I trust AB because he knows lolcow better than anybody else here.
Yeah.
Like he's seen a lot of it, and you rightfully call them out when it's like obviously fake. So if you're leaning towards real, then
I mean, this is Boogie's friend that passed away. So if it wasn't real, I mean, they're using his friend's funeral.
His friend did die.
His friend did die. He was a YouTuber, I believe.
Who is it? Do we know him?
I'm not familiar with him. His
You know
name was
what? I don't
Billy.
want to know.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I am leaning fake though, because all they've done ever has been fake. They faked cancer.
You gotta watch it, love. You gotta watch
yeah,
it.
Okay, let's watch.
But they faked
Hold
cancer.
on, before you pass judgment on this.
And that is something that I feel like is super important to remember that Love just said from the show, is that Boogie298 has become really well known lately for having faked cancer. If you don't remember, I did an entire video on Boogie faking cancer. I think I did it last year or the year before. We did an entire ChazmaN live where I talked about Boogie's faking cancer. So imagine that. Imagine wanting to go to a wake or a funeral for somebody who died of a brain tumor, meaning he died of cancer, and you are popular for faking cancer, and you want to go to their funeral or their wake. Isn't that insane? Do you really think the family would want you at any event when you faked cancer and their family member that you claim as your friend, you were faking it and they actually died of real cancer? Like come on. Like, it's like, Boogie, you know they didn't invite you. You know 100% you weren't invited.
Boogie faked having cancer.
Oh God, I'll always remember that, said Skylar. As messed up as it was, I actually thought it was really funny at the time because Boogie was just so blatantly it was so blatantly obvious he was faking. But then when you put it in the context of him wanting to go to someone's actual funeral for having cancer, it's really messed up. Like, really. Bro, I'd be seething, said Veronica. Well, to be fair, if I'm a family member, I wouldn't be seething, mainly because I wouldn't want to think about you, but it would be super obvious. I would be like, oh, you're not invited. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be thinking about you. I'm busy thinking about my dead family member, but like, I'm not worried about you. You're not invited. I don't need to, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be like, oh, Boogie wants to come? No, he's not coming. You know what I mean? I got too much to think about.
No, they all were in on it.
You think so?
Yeah, that's my...
On what?
Okay.
On the cancer thing.
That's a scandal.
That was Boogie.
All right.
Love saying that he thinks
think
they were all in on it from the beginning.
Okay, well, listen.
No.
Love
That's a
is
big
outer,
accusation.
And that's an important voice.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I looked at him. I'm really curious because if you think this is real, then it's real.
Yeah. But I'm going into this with an open mind. So I'll be honest.
Yeah. Another thing that makes another reason that I think it's real is like Keem would get super upset with FaZe Banks when they had a show together. Whenever he would get interrupted, Keem would get so annoyed and say, "Let me talk. Let me talk.
Let me speak."
Yeah, he gets really worked up during these two streams.
Okay.
So
He does get emotional at times, but that's why we love him. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve. Right. Ma'am, do you like enjoy boba?
Boba?
Yeah.
What's boba? Ooh.
It's like do you know what Thai iced tea is? It's like a milky sweet tea.
With the balls inside?
With you can have all that with the balls inside. I'm only asking because I know that diabetes can happen when you get a little older. Not that you look. Well, I just want
I want to make sure
was
the
pretty
facts
ridiculous with that
are
lady at
being
that.
told the correct way. Boogie told Kid Behind the Camera and other people that I was not letting him go to a funeral
because you quit and I needed to work.
Can I finish what I'm saying? You're doing the same thing that you were doing to Yo Mama that pissed everyone off.
Oh, let me get out of the way. I'm blocking.
A Yo Mama joke almost broke them apart. I'll say this: that is a really sick thing to lie about. If he is lying about it, and if he's like, I don't want to go to this guy's funeral for whatever reason, he's a big guy, traveling's hard probably. But if he's like, Keemstar is not letting me go to the funeral, that's really fucked up.
And that's another thing that Boogie is doing that's like really messed up. So not only is he someone who faked cancer, wants to go to a cancer of someone the funeral who died of someone who died of cancer, but he's trying to ask for the time off from his boss to go to the thing, and his boss is like calling him out on it, kind of. Not saying Keemstar is a great dude, but his boss is like, you're not invited to the thing. And Keemstar is like fighting with him. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm invited. We're setting up this event. Which he's not at all. And Keemstar is like, you're not getting this time off. And then Boogie is like slandering him online about not getting the time off and him being, I guess, not thinking about him or thinking about him caring about his dead friend or something. I don't know. It's very... Granted, I think it's all an act. I'm with Love on this. I think Keemstar's in on it and whatever. They're just drumming up drama for drama's sake, for views.
But let's see. Maybe who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Is it even real?
Yeah.
Again, the one thing you have to remember about the Lol Cow podcast, and it is called a Lol Cow. There's a reason why their channel is named what it is for farming up stupid drama or talking about dumb crap.
To it, the next week after the funeral, I believe he's going to Disneyland with his fiance. So Boogie needs that week off as well. Yeah, they'll come into play later on.
So he wants to go to Disneyland. He doesn't want to go to the funeral.
He says he wants to go to both.
I'm not expecting him at my funeral. You know, he's going to show up at my funeral wondering, hey, am I being fed? And I don't say that because he's large. Because you play
They're
the sound
saying
right.
that this
that's
is...
not a jab at his weight, just to be clear.
They're saying this is Yo Mama, and he's part of the show.
Is he Yo Mama?
He has a show with them. Yeah.
Can you play him complaining about me not feeding him? Just to give context. I don't want them to think that I hate fat people. Certainly not. We love fat people.
Oh, did Ethan Klein invite you to his podcast, use you for your clout, not even talk to you afterwards, not even feed you, barely even fucking treat you like a human being, and then block you on fucking Twitter after you did a show 3 times? Yeah, I can understand why that would make you mad.
Sign this motherfucker.
So he's talking. He's angry that I didn't feed him, which is
again. And then the whole backstory with Boogie and Ethan is super funny, because Boogie, when he was he's still a big guy, but when he was super heavy and a more popular name, he was invited on the podcast twice. This podcast. And did interviews twice, and that was when he was a much bigger guy, had trouble walking around, and later on, of course, now he's been talking crap on them for a while. So the whole thing's hilarious in my opinion. Not the Billy part. I'm talking about just the background of H3 and Boogie.
So anyway, I'll make sure at my funeral there'll be lots of little finger foods and stuff.
He went on that one guy's podcast. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Matan or something like that. The Name 5 Books guy. He went on his podcast and they kept bringing him food in reference to that.
Oh yeah.
And the whole time Boogie's mic
the
is like
Matan
this.
kid.
You cannot hear Boogie the whole podcast. His mic is like this far away.
Really?
Fuck everybody!
That dude's funny. I will say the Matan kid is funny. He wants me to come on his show, and respectfully, I'm declining because I know your game. Okay, I prefer to be an audience member at this point in my life. There's way too much shit to troll me with.
Yeah.
Okay, we ain't doing that. Nice try.
Good call.
But you are funny. Thank you.
I wonder if you can do it.
Oh my god, I almost watched the whole second. No, see, don't get caught in that.
No.
Because oh, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We like him. He's funny. Don't get caught in that. Because then all of a sudden you're gonna be in his little fucking canopy, backyard canopy, and like, God knows what, iDubbbz will come out naked and like
that would be
shit coming
funny.
out of his ass or something crazy. It's just that crazy. It's just that crazy, right? You don't know.
Suck my ass.
Fuck you, stinky butt. Breath. Tonsil stone boy. He's been here. Lucky, he's been here.
Lie. I'm not gonna let you lie.
I'm still talking.
Look, I can lie too. Vampires are real. Like, you can lie all you want.
Why would you
but
say
don't
that?
lie.
That's irrelevant.
How am I able?
Why would you lie about vampires? And we all know that vampires aren't real, so it's not even like a good comparison.
All right, so
You're
tell you
telling
what
a
I'll go
lie.
ahead and do. You guys kind of get it. I mean, Boogie wants time off. Keem's not willing to give him the time off. It's a bunch of drama. They're going back and forth on the podcast. The main reason, I guess another main thing, but we'll go ahead and skip to, which is super interesting, is Wood, Beat 'em Ups, the guy whose video we just saw, who is best friends with the guy Billy. He is a big fan of the H3 podcast, or Ethan and his wife, and he was watching this podcast episode. And guess what happens in just a little bit? He calls in. So let's go ahead and skip to when he calls in. Oh, okay. They got a timestamp. I love timestamps.
Well, so
wow.
So to set everything straight, Beat 'em Ups, who again is literally involved with the funeral, with the wake. He's best friends with the guy Billy and his wife. He calls in because he wants to set everything straight as to like what Boogie, whatever the hell Boogie is talking about. I skipped it because literally that whole thing in between is just Boogie and Keemstar arguing about dumb stuff. So you know the background. Boogie wants time off. Keem won't give it to him. Boogie's talking crap because Keem won't give him the time off. Boogie claims Billy is his best friend and that he's going to an event held by the family, or wants to go to an event held by the family to remember Billy.
So far, it feels real to me.
It feels real.
So
and
then, slowly
I gotta
over
say,
this
Kim starts
entire
talking all this
podcast,
shit while he is away for a whole week.
You got Beat 'em Ups in the background. It's like, hey guys, I'm willing to call in and tell you what's
he's like
happening.
on a mental health break or something.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He was taking a week off, I believe, too.
Oh, Keemstar was?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so is that why he didn't want him to take the time off? So
Yeah.
that two people?
Oh, gotcha.
And that's why he's calling in, because he's technically not on the show right now, but he keeps calling in.
Also, rest in peace to Billy. Whoever you were.
He was a YouTuber. From everyone seemed to love him. He was really loved.
He was on a YouTube channel called Game Chasers.
Yeah.
So I never heard of him. I've never seen him, but rest in peace.
Rest in peace. That's
This
sad.
comes from the guy who's about to call in. He said, I lost a best friend and a brother. Billy meant so much to so many people. He fought an impossible battle, and in many ways he won. He never gave up. He never stopped laughing. He left us positive, hopeful, stubborn, and strong. He left us as Billy. I miss you. That's a beautiful, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Sounds like he was taken far too early from horrific disease. But let's bring him in here, shall we? So okay. Oh yeah, Nate, you know.
You won't be able to see you, by the way, unfortunately.
That's okay.
He should be there.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Hello.
How are you? Nice. Thank you for calling in. I'm sorry about your friend who passed. He seems like he was a really great guy.
He was my best friend. He was my brother. We've been friends for a long time. And yeah, I wanted to call in because everyone's talking about him, but not talking about him. If you wouldn't mind, at some point, I would like to tell you about how awesome he was and the lives that he saved and just what a great guy he is and the battle that he had. But I hadn't seen any of that Boogie stuff, and at first I was getting annoyed, but by the end it was just hilarious, and now I don't know what to feel.
So What do you think happened? Is Boogie lying, or is it just semantics?
They have no idea what's actually happening. Like I don't. They're mentioning like 4 people at something. Like there's a lot more than 4 people involved. Billy has a very large
That's
family.
what Boogie said.
I don't know what that was. So I mean,
what they're talking about is at some point Boogie had mentioned that only 4 people, I guess, are involved with the wake or the funeral or something. And it's like, it's so funny because Wood calls in and is basically like, no, I mean, he just said it, but like, no, like there's a bunch of like Billy had a bunch of friends and a bunch of people involved in his funeral and wake that are coming up. So like, no, he had a bunch of friends. There is no like small group. And then also Boogie, Wood will talk about it, but Boogie also talks about how like, I think oh gosh, I forgot what, we'll let him explain, but he said something about Billy being down bad for money or something like that. It's very weird stuff Boogie's throwing out there. Maybe they talked about it on the next podcast. They talked about it twice, and I can't remember. Maybe I'm getting the 2 moments mixed up.
There is going to be a memorial at some point, but it's not. We haven't picked a date yet. We've been to the venue, and it's a very nice venue. So I don't know what he meant by like cheap tech, because he had no money. Like I don't know what that was about. Also,
okay, he just mentioned, so that was here. I guess Boogie had said something about it and possibly it's gonna be a cheap event or something, and Wood just like contradicted him there. He's like, no, we just went to the wake or the funeral site, and it's very nice. Billy wasn't broke. You know what I mean? I don't know. Boogie he doesn't know anything about nothing.
So it's all going to be catered. So if we invite him, we'd be breaking the hate street tradition of not feeding him. So
That would be. I don't know how much you watch the show. Have you heard about the 4-foot sub?
I've heard about pretty much everything for the last several years.
Wow, what a guy. Thank you. Well, I was just going to say, keep him away from the 4-foot sub.
Oh, he ain't going.
Oh, he's not coming?
No, I don't know why he thought he was.
He's not invited.
No.
Well, so why does he think he was invited?
So, if I can tell you about Billy for a second, because really, beyond all the drama, I'd like to use it as a chance to tell you how awesome he was.
Yeah.
So Billy, his channel is the Game Chasers, and he poured his love, heart, and soul into that channel, and I recommend everyone go and watch it and check it out.
It's called the what? Say that again?
Game Chasers.
Game Chasers.
It's kind of like American Pickers, but for retro video games. But long story short, I suppose, he found out a month ago that he had severe.
Whoa!
That's the one.
It happened in a month.
Yes, he found out he had a severe and aggressive brain tumor.
Oh,
he's so sad.
He was one of the best dads that I knew.
Oh no!
His son is 7 years old.
Oh
man.
He was a loving father and a husband. And as soon as I found out about his tumor, I flew to him and I spent a week with him, and then I spent 2 weeks on the phone with him. And unfortunately, it was just that severe and that rare. It was such a rare type of tumor too, that it took him just a few days ago, I think maybe 4 or 5 days ago. It was a very short battle. And I got to tell you, he fought so hard. When he first got diagnosed, it was because he lost control of the left side of his body and he couldn't walk. And
that's certainly something to ask the doctors about.
He relearned how to walk in a week and went to his son's baseball game one last time.
Man, that's so heartbreaking.
He fought so hard. He was so positive. It was just incredible to watch. I'm trying not to make it sound like a shameless plug, but we documented his entire thing because he wanted to make a video on it. So over on my channel, I have a 50-minute video of me and his other best friend who spent every day with him. We documented the course of his month.
And I think he'll mention it, but like I think where there was kind of a friendship between Billy and Boogie, the only place that they can say that he like legitimately they were friends and they talk is at retro video game expos, or I think they call it, is it maybe Retropalooza or something? There are events that they would like, I guess, talk and like, every now and then would maybe, I don't know, say a few things. So it's not as though they didn't have a relationship. So there is, Boogie, I guess, in a way, kind of has a little bit of an excuse and leeway to be like, I guess he just used the fact that he was friendly with him, but that's not the same as like best friends. You know what I mean? So Boogie he's just exaggerating dumb stuff that he doesn't need to exaggerate. Like, why do you need to be a douche? Why do you need to be involved with this event? Like, the dude passed away. Like, why do you need to be involved? I don't know. Boogie's just, to me, it's very
then
weird.
We told his story, and all the proceeds and all the revenue from that episode is going straight to the memorial. The memorial that is happening, and not with 4 people, and next week.
I would love
So,
to
yeah.
donate to the memorial.
Yeah.
That would be incredible, and his family would really appreciate it.
I feel so
because
terrible for his
That's-
son. You know,
yeah.
I have 3 sons. You know that, and it's just
His son is such a special little guy. I'm actually his godparent, and you know, I would do.
Dang, Legend said Veronica. Veronica Rose said, bro, just say you know the guy and that's that. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, shoot, I'm still blocking H3. Yeah, it's like, why do you need to be... no doubt that Boogie has some sort of personality. Again, I'm not going to diagnose him, but like, he's got some sort of personality, factor or something. Like, why else do you lie about having cancer? Why are you lying about like going to this guy's wake or funeral? There's so many crazy things
Anything
with
for that
Boogie.
kid. I love him. He's just the sweetest. And yeah, that was Billy there on your screen for a second. Handsome man. By the way, he looked hot even on his final couple of days there.
yeah, he
I
did.
mean,
He looked kind of sharp.
He
in the
looks
thumbnails.
really fit and healthy. Like
He was
it's
so
just
healthy,
so-
and that's the other thing. And I think that's where Boogie's getting
So
confused.
devastating.
So he passed at 47 in the best shape of his life, and
Yeah.
because the tumor was localized to his brain, his entire body was healthy, and he was an organ donor.
Wow.
So they were actually able to use all of his vital organs.
Wow.
Because usually when people pass at that age, you know, it's trauma of some kind. So I think what Boogie was getting confused with was there was a flag raising ceremony where his entire family, they rose a flag at the hospital, a donor flag. And then a few days later, once, you know, doctors from all over the country rushed in, once patients were matched with his body, we did a honor walk through the hospital with his body. His entire family of about, you know, 20, 30 people, not 4, lined the halls of the hospital as he was pushed into the OR for the final time. And he went out an absolute hero.
Oh, God,
and that was my best
up.
friend and brother, Billy, who laughed on, you know, his hospital bed and joked and stayed positive right until the end. Yeah, and that's mostly why I wanted to call in. I'm sorry to dump all of that on you guys because I know you were having a good time, but you know, they're sitting there talking about how no one's coming to the 4 people and he was broke and blah blah blah. None of that was the case. And there will be a memorial. I'm not going to say when because obviously he's a public figure. It's not next week. And no, a man that faked cancer will not be invited.
But I do have a question for you. So was
That's so funny. So it's so obvious that if Wood, who's like a best friend of him, if Wood knows about the faking cancer part, you know for a fact the wife knows about the fake cancer part. So it's like, I just like, again, Boogie is a lolcow, so I don't think there's a shot he actually thinks he's going. It's just, it's more messed up because I think Boogie's just doing it just for maybe some attention or to stir up some drama, but it's like, gosh, even if you're just doing it to stir up drama, it's like, really? Drama over a guy that just died? I don't know. It almost makes it worse. But...
He's self-explanatory.
was
Sorry, Ela.
Boogie friends with Billy? Like, what's their connection there?
Yes, they were. So there's a convention called Retropalooza that Billy's friend and the guy on the screen right there with the Cubs hat, he hosts every year, and Boogie is a frequent guest. He goes there every year.
Okay.
And yeah, they hung out. They're good friends, or they were. I don't want to say too much, but obviously in his final month, he was reassessing certain things, and the guy that faked cancer might have been one of them. You know, and it's
Okay.
not. I also want to say that it's not my choice to him to not be there, but you know, his wife. I mean, would you want that there?
Probably not. But what you're saying is his family doesn't want him there.
I don't want to
You're
get
not
too
saying
drunk.
you're not
Let's
saying
just
that, but
say
like,
me. Let's just say me.
Let's say they wouldn't be so happy to see him there.
Let's just say he doesn't have an invite.
He's not
Okay.
invited. So that's a lot. He's doing a lot.
He's doing a lot, and I don't.
But yeah, Wood basically just said, I think I think Wood is handling this really well in this interview. Or it's not really an interview, it's just a chat, but like, he's handling it very well. He's like, I'm not speaking on behalf of the family. I'm just saying, as far as I know, he doesn't have a, that's always the best thing for something as personal and depressing as like something like this is. It's best just to say, keep it, you know what I mean? Just like, hey, listen, he's not invited. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I feel like Wood's handling it like really well. Not gonna lie, I knew beat 'em ups for his Nintendo videos he did. I didn't know about all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't think I really knew much about beat 'em ups until like a lot of this stuff. So
I don't know where.
I definitely would say I like him more. I mean, He just seems like he's being a good friend.
I don't
know.
None of any of all of it made sense to me. And you know, I don't want to come on here and make things stressful for the family. I don't want to start anything with Boogie because I'm really not looking for any of that. But you know, Billy was not being honored in the way that he deserved in that locale podcast episode. You know, so
you know what? I'm glad you called because you're right.
You're right.
Yeah.
We were all
I mean,
just...
look at that smile on his face you just paused on. He literally had that smile up until the end. You know, like he fought like hell. He gave it his all, and man, he went out hot. Like even my final goodbye, he looked better than me. He looked better than everyone.
I'm so sorry for your loss. That's the kind of pain that changes you forever. So
it was tough. It was tough for me, and it was tough for his family. Do you want to?
Where do I donate? Where do I donate?
I don't want to get all dramery, but if you have any more questions, where do you donate?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything currently set up, but we can
it'd
definitely
be a
stay in
direct
contact.
thing.
I mean, so me and his aunt kind of spearheading the funds for the memorial.
Send me like a Venmo or something or whatever it is, and I'll
whatever works.
you guys.
Yeah, I can do that.
Or PayPal.
Yeah. I can absolutely do that, and it is definitely greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah,
my pleasure. Ethan.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Ethan, you're such a kind and generous soul and loving father and husband, and I admire you so much. How do you manage it all?
He's just
sorry. I'm not sure. I know this works.
He's just sucking up to H3 now because he's a fan of the show too. It's pretty funny. This part made me crack up a little.
Sometimes I don't know that I am right. I don't know. It's a lot, but it's a lot of love in my life, and it makes everything bearable and a joy. So I'm very fortunate.
Thank you for being you.
If I could vouch for Wood,
that's very kind. Thank you so much.
He's a sweetheart. He's a really nice guy. I don't know if you remember, Ethan. I did that Super Smash tournament a few years ago that I won. Wood was the one that put it on.
Yeah. AB is my boy. So is Nate. Shout out to Nate.
Shut up, bro. Shut up, bro. What's up? I don't know what's on my brain right now.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Also, while
my
I'm
brain's
here,
broken. I am exhausted.
What are you trying to say?
I said, "What's up, bro? Shout out, bro." I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me.
Shut up, bro.
I said, "What's up?" I was trying to say,
"He's my boy too," and he's like, "Shut up, bro."
Okay, he sent me a copy of Street Fighter 6. Thanks for that. He's awesome. He also had a kid. We have kids around the same age.
Our kids are
who are we shouting out?
Nate's Woods.
Okay.
The guy on the call.
My brain just broke.
You're shouting out the guy I'm talking to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
I wasn't sure if you were shouting out poor Billy.
I was trying to say shout out. I don't know. I was gonna change.
Shut up.
Well,
it's okay. You have a baby.
What?
You're on no sleep probably.
Shut up.
Oh, shut up.
I'm on no sleep, but it's not the baby's fault. I was playing Hades.
It's Hades.
It was a Hades fault. I'll be honest.
Me too.
I'm actually really happy you called in because I'm happy that we got to send our thoughts, and I'm happy that I have the opportunity to help you guys out.
I'm so happy you called because we were just laughing and goofing on this story, but this is
Exactly. That's why it was like I just felt I had to, because the more people that know about him, and also go check out his show. He puts so much love into it. It's really high quality, and you know, his wife owns the channel now, so like the revenue goes to her, and it's in a way it's like he keeps supporting his family for years into the future, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so thank you for.
All right, everyone. Well, yeah, I don't want to show their whole show, but yeah, that basically is that part. I guess since we're talking about it, why don't we move on to the second part of this, which is something I totally forgot to show as well. So there was a second part to this. That's right. There's more to the drama with Boogie. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, I found it. All right, so Boogie did not like the fact that Wood or beat 'em ups and all of that, all these people and just a lot of people in general are just straight up calling him out for it's just stirring up drama in general with Billy and Game Chasers and everything, and wanting to be a part of any of that. So what do you think Boogie decided to do next? That's right, he decided to attack this guy, beat 'em ups or Wood, because that's what you do, is you just start attacking somebody associated with the event that you really want to go to. Let's look into that a little bit.
I didn't go through all of it. Literally just watched this first point.
It is very good.
Jesus Christ. And you could read the comments after.
So this is the podcast immediately after. This is like a couple days after the last, the initial time they talked about it.
Who's this?
The Boogie Show.
That's
the new Keem.
He's got the bandana on.
Yeah.
He looks kind of hardcore.
What the fuck? I don't think Keem would ever have allowed this.
Okay. I'm sitting on a theory again, guys. Uh-oh.
A game theory.
Go ahead.
We'll see how it plays out.
It's a false flag.
Hey guys, it's just a game theory.
But to be honest, new Keemstar, I don't think he would do that.
Right, that's
no
what
way he
I'm
did that.
saying.
Yeah, Boogie would fake
yes.
cancer. He would do that. But I don't think Keemstar would intentionally involve this poor family in their little antics. I think
I should say, if you guys have any other topics or subjects, feel free to drop them in the chat or on the Discord comment section. If you have anything else you think might be super interesting to talk about or chit chat about, we're an hour 40 in. I'll probably go for another half hour, and I feel like we're almost done with this one. But yeah, if you got anything else you think might be interesting for me to check out. Again, I did a very poor job setting up this. All I really had was these two subjects lined up. Now, granted, I feel like I'm doing pretty good here. I'm almost making 2 hours out of these two subjects. But yeah, anything else you think?
I think he's too mature.
Watch Keemstar come back and say that Boogie is a bad guy for doing this.
Well, we'll certainly see how it plays out.
I'm calling the script, guys. I
Yeah,
know
a
it.
moment. We knew you were thinking it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I want to be the fucking bad guy, but I keep going up against pure fucking evil.
We're fine. We're fine.
Sorry. You can do the big one. Thank you. Doing something on my phone here, fellas. I got the first new phone in 5 years. So there's all kinds of hubbub.
I'm pro that, because when you get a new phone after 5 years, you're like, wow, there's a massive change. If you get one every year,
right,
there's no big deal.
Yeah.
So I totally agree. This phone is amazing.
Yeah.
It is so much better than my last phone. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I try to do that with everything. I use it till it breaks, and then I get something new, and I was like, wow, this is sick.
I said this is the first time I'm going to hold off on getting the new iPhone, but we just got fiber in our building with AT&T, and basically they'll give you the iPhone for free if you switch over.
Have it integrated. You also, we have a promo code too.
Still be humble about,
Why weren't you invited, Buggy?
You lied about cancer.
I didn't
I know
talk about it. Just sort of
you're on
listening
the
right now.
moving
You're all
on
good,
arc
Odin.
and like rebuilding your reputation, but
He's walking backwards.
It did happen, and we still need to be humble about it.
Boogie, you're taking backward steps. You need to recalibrate, bro. This ain't it.
Just get the fuck out of here! You ain't welcome here, motherfucker!
Okay, all right.
Fuck
Every story I've heard about Wood, and I have about 5 or 6 stories about Wood lined up, but they're
So here's
private.
Boogie
But
beginning
everybody
to
came out
attack
of the woodworks, and they
Wood.
said,
The
hey, I've
woodworks.
had problems with Wood because of this. He snaked me here. I talked to Governor, which worked very closely with Wood. Worked on I think it was a Discord server with Wood. Even as Governor was working with the death of his family, he worked through continuing to make an excellent server for Wood, and eventually Wood just threw him out like trash, even right after burying his family members.
I have no idea what you're
And that's
talking
when
about.
Wood decided he had a problem with the guy. Didn't give him a while to wait. Just that's the story that's in my DMs right now. I mean, he's just hurt so many people.
Holy fuck! This is hard to. It's so pathetic.
Yeah.
It's so transparent. Like, what are you doing, man?
So Boogie goes on this tangent of talking about random, I guess, people that he thinks Wood has ticked off or attacked over time, which is such a stupid thing to talk about. And then they'll get into it, but Boogie eventually then talks about Wood talking crap about him hating having moved to Texas. Dude, Boogie's insane. Oh, you can even see on the top left, he's got. Oh, it's hard for you guys to see with the chat. It says, so we left Texas, beat him ups and his wife talking about living in Texas.
Is Wood in the chat? I know he's a fan. Wood, if you're watching, you can call in if you want to come back on top of Boogie here. We got your back on this one. So unnecessary.
It's really unusual for me to see Wood be the guy that went to be next to Billy's side. Because, again, without betraying anybody's trust, it's my understanding they had not talked in over a year. In fact, I think I actually do have a public message about that one.
And H3 is going to say something, too, about how Boogie's like, oh, yeah, they haven't talked in over a year. And H3 and them, immediately after, make a great point that, like, dude, do you know how many family members and friends that I haven't talked to in over a year, and yet if we hung out like tomorrow or something, we would like get along like super well, or probably go out for drinks or something. Like, just because you don't talk to someone for a year, that doesn't mean your relationship's gone. You know what I mean? People don't need to talk every day for you to have like a consistent, like friendly relationship. You know what I mean? And they'll talk about it right now.
We saying Wood.
Great point.
Who's the guy that passed on?
Billy.
So he's not even talking about Billy. He's talking about somebody else.
No, he's saying that Wood and Billy right? We're not talking for a year. Is that what he's saying?
No, he's talking about somebody else.
No, I thought he said that they hadn't spoken in a year.
Wood and Billy?
Wood and Billy.
Yeah.
He had not talked about anybody's trust. It's my understanding they had not talked in over a year. Be the guy that went to be next to Billy's side. Because, again, without betraying anybody's trust, it's my understanding they had not talked in over a year. In fact, I think I actually do have a public message about that one. He had not talked to Billy in over a year.
Is this high
And
school?
I guess he decided.
You understand? Like, is this high school? Does Boogie understand that Wood has his own family? He has his own, kid. Like, that's completely normal for best friends when you're adults. To not-
Exactly.
even if that is even true, but regardless, it's like it's such a stupid point.
Exactly. Like I have friends that we can not talk for a year, and then you'll pick right back up like no time has passed. You know.
I'll say a year.
But it's also like Boogie's just looking at Discord. Boogie pulled it up, but he was looking at Discord messages between them, and he's kind of like saying, "Oh, they didn't talk to each other for a year." It's like Boogie, you realize people talk on the phone too, right? I guarantee you, they probably were sending texts and stuff periodically throughout the year. I've got a ton of people. I got a ton of friends on my that I text routinely that I haven't seen in probably a year or two. You know what I mean? Like come on.
It's not even
Just
that long.
because you're not talking on Discord where it's public doesn't mean you're not chit chatting with people.
Yeah, that's really normal in adult life. That is very normal.
Unless you have screenshots of them saying like really mean shit to each other, which I don't see why you would have that. But let's see what you got.
To go down there to help run things, take care of things.
A year,
I
bro.
have so much that I have to get into. Nightmare, what do you think?
You have this much?
I mean, so I don't know obviously a lot about the situation, but so what I'm gathering from it so far is Woods was very attached to Jay and Billy and the whole convention situation, and then distanced himself from it. But then I'm assuming what we're leading into is Woods being somewhat very interested in Billy during his final days.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
I'm sorry,
for
their doc had
some
a title
reason-
page. If you just scroll back 5 seconds, their doc had like a little one more. Hit one more time. Yeah, if you just let it play, it had like a whole headline and everything. That's impressive.
True local tribute to Billy.
Distance himself from it, but then I'm assuming what we're leading into is Woods being
Jesus
somewhat very
Christ,
interested
Boogie.
Right there,
in Billy.
yeah. Table
Have
content.
you
that's
put
what I
this
meant.
much work into anything in your career? What is this?
It's like a Hollywood script.
Well, do you really think Boogie put that together? Come on.
Yeah.
Somebody
I mean,
send that
let's
to
see.
them.
Wood left Texas. Wood's tribute video to Billy. Wood from Beat 'em Up on H3. A true local tribute to Billy. Oh wait, no, Billy's the guy who passed. Okay, I'm confused now.
Wait, what the fuck is that next thing? Hold on.
Relationship.
Yeah, Boogie is so lazy. I would say there's 100% chance Boogie did not set up this page full of notes and background information. I'm 99% sure this is all like Reddit, Discord, people that they know, or not even people in their Discord or on their Reddit pages giving them information or something, and this is probably all grabbed from that. There is no chance. Boogie is so lazy. He doesn't do a damn thing. There's no way in hell he did any of this research. Odin Salty says, I currently have a friend deployed in Syria that I haven't seen in like 4 years, and he sometimes comes into the messenger group to say stupid stuff, lol. Yeah, I mean, people got their own lives going on.
Oh, Cowboy K2, that's our boy. So this is just their show plan. Yeah, bro, what are you doing? You're stealing our shit? Well, I mean, go for it.
He doesn't belong to
We
us.
borrow from each other. He's still not watched Schindler's List. I told him, you want to come back on the show? We'd love to have you. You need to review Schindler's List with me.
Didn't he say he would?
Last I heard, he said when he gets time, he would do it.
Yeah. He's still gonna do it.
I think we need to start guilting him. It's like, oh, you don't have the time?
Do it during Taco Tuesday, man. You know, just put it on in the background.
Oh, yeah, we've learned about Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it, bro.
You need to start guilting him, maybe. You're in touch with him, right?
Yeah, through the pod account.
Say, oh, you don't have time, huh? Well, I wish all the
Maybe
fucking
just,
kids that died in the Holocaust had more time.
Just say like, hey, just checking in if you had time.
He wasn't even, like, of all the things people say about Boogie, and there's a lot of bad things you could say about him. What?
All right, well, I think that's about everything. I mean, we don't need to watch their whole thing. But yeah, that's basically the drama with that. I don't think anything else has really come out from this. I don't really think anything needs to come out from this. I mean, Boogie just needs to freaking suck it up and chill and mourn in his own way, because, I mean, dude, you're not invited to the wake. You're not invited to the funeral. let them grieve, let them mourn. Stop making drama out of it. It's all very disappointing. And, you know, granted, again, if there is any drama in the background, let's handle that post all of the memorial-based stuff. And it's like, whatever. All right. So, what are we? Almost at 2 hours. Nice. I've almost made 2 hours out of 2 topics. Let me start looking around. So, what else? That might be it for us. Is there anything else I really cared about talking about? Anyways, how are y'all doing in chat? See, we had Veronica, Odin, Salty, and Skylar. How's your guys' day been? I guess there was only one other topic. I remember there was... I remember seeing something about Ty Lopez. If anyone remembers Ty Lopez. I don't think we need to talk about Ty. Or actually, yeah, let's look at Ty a little bit. I see Voidzilla made a video. I kind of want to see Void. I like Voidzilla. Or CoffeeZilla.
It's always...
Can't wait to play Sonic when I get back home. I actually saw Angry Joe talking about... I saw Angry Joe was talking about that, and he said the game was really good. Which I'm not saying I'm like surprised about, but I mean, Angry Joe said it's like a really good game, so my day's been all right. The cat that I lost a while back finally came back home, so he's safe now. That's awesome to hear. Got slammed at work. I was good until this last one customer got mad about his order. Sheesh. All right, so this will be a quick one, but a little bit of backstory. If you guys don't remember Ty Lopez, he was a content creator, social media influencer guy who he was making content where he was telling people about how to invest, and you know, he's a scammer in my opinion. Well, it's not even in my opinion. It's kind of proven at this point. He's a scammer, and that's he kind of made it as like an investing guru or helping people with their money and stuff. And people have always known in the background, it's like, oh, this guy's probably a scammer. He's probably doing, what do they call it? Pyramid schemes and stuff of the sort. We know he's messing with crypto. And lo and behold, it seems as though he's finally getting in trouble with, I don't know, with the IRS or with the FBI, or somebody's finally looking into him because the guy's made a crap ton of money from scamming. I think he initially went out and he bought like multiple companies. He bought like Pier, what is it? What's that clothing company? Pier something? Pier 21? Pier 51? I can't remember. He bought that. He bought like Radio Shack and a couple other companies, like half expecting to somehow bring them back, which everyone knew that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, here's CoffeeZilla. It seems as though our boy, oh gosh, I already forgot his name. What's his name? I forgot. Oh, Ty Lopez. I don't know. Dude, Ty Lopez is such a stupid content creator. I mean, he's like, you can tell he's not a guy who comes off as like legit. He's just a scammer. It's like, oh, whoop-de-doo, he got in trouble.
Always the ones you suspect the most. Here in my void, I want to talk to you guys today about Ty Lopez, who is roving the streets like a madman after recently he was accused of raising $112 million through fraudulent offerings with his co-founder Alex Mayer and Maya Birkenrode. This is the SEC has now taken a case against Ty Lopez, but he's still ranting about...
Yay, the SEC's finally looking into Ty Lopez. I can't tell you how stoked I am. I mean, I'm just happy to see someone who's like a bad actor who is just a flat out scammer. It's like, can the SEC start looking more into people like this? It's just like, who's the other guy that is in the same boat that I know is doing stuff? Is it Gary? what's his name? Gary something. Gary. Oh my gosh. I can't remember. Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary V. There you go. That guy, Gary V. He, please, SEC, please look into him too. Like, come on. You guys got to eventually start cracking down on some of these people that are making crazy amounts of money just scamming people. F around and found out moments at Skylar. Absolutely. I hate scammers.
Books.
Remember, they can't control you if you read the right books and inform yourself.
Now, let me say, Ty, depending on the outcome here of these allegations, they may be able to control you. I'm just going to be honest with you. It doesn't matter how many books you read. These allegations spell trouble for our boy, the boy from the garage. I don't know if you remember our fresh-faced guy, the reason for the ad block. Here he is right here.
Here in my garage. Just bought this new Lamborghini here.
And I guess now we know how. Of course, later he transitioned to Here in My Backyard. That was kind of the sequel to all of this.
Hey, here in my backyard.
Ty was always known for running these ads, telling people, you got to sign up for his 47 rules for success, the 12 rules for, whatever sales, the 5 ways to get through life. I mean, he always had something to sell. And for a while, he kind of got away with it.
People trusted him, bro. His haircut looks fake. I wouldn't even. I mean, I guess people had to have trusted him. If he's making money doing what he's doing, then I would like to think people wouldn't fall for it. But apparently, maybe people were. I mean, it's crazy. OMG, it's the Lamborghini guy, says Odin. Yeah, see, someone in chat remembers Ty Lopez. I mean, that's where he got his name, was doing those stupid videos from his garage where he's like, "Hey everyone, I'm here in my garage. But all you need to do is to invest and buy these 5 things, and you will become, you will make money." That's Ty Lopez. That's how he made his
really
name.
At the end of the day, when you sell knowledge and you overpromise and underdeliver, people don't get too mad. I mean, people like me will kind of call you a grifter. That's really the worst that's going to happen to you. The problem with Ty was he's one of these guys who went from, trying to sell the fact he's this business savant, because he quotes Charlie Munger all the time, to now taking money from people and actually raising money for some businesses that he was going to run. REV was the holding company, and they bought a bunch of distressed assets. You may know Radio Shack, Pier 1, Steinmart, a bunch of companies that went out of business, and Ty bought them up with a bunch
Why did I
of
say
other
Pier
people's money
21?
and said that they were going to raise, basically flip them using e-com, take away the brick and mortar, bring in the...
What CoffeeZilla is essentially going to talk about is that, from what I understand, Ty went out and bought these companies, Pier 1, Radio Shack, a couple other ones. And I think what people are what he's going to talk about is how, from what I understand, Ty bought them not with the expectation of actually reviving these brands and companies. Not actually, he doesn't actually care about bringing them back, but rather utilizing the name recognition with those companies and finding ways of essentially, I guess, grifting or stealing money somehow, because he just owns those name brands. So I get, again, I'll let him speak.
Great marketing from Ty Lopez. He was going to rant on the streets about, I guess, Radio Shack, right? He was going to go around telling you about Dress Barn, from his platforms. And I guess it's kind of a plausible idea. The problem was they lied to investors along the way, at least if you believe the SEC's allegations, which claims that Ty and Alex Mayer made misrepresentations and omitted to state material facts, specifically about the profitability. They were saying their portfolio companies were on fire and cash flow is strong, which, depending on what you mean by on fire, maybe that was actually true, because these companies were burning through cash. Meanwhile, they were raising money from investors, mostly through a combination of debt and sometimes equity. And when things were falling apart, at least $5.9 million of those returns that were supposedly distributed to investors, like the payback for the loans, were in reality what they call Ponzi-like payments funded by other investors. In addition, Ty Lopez and...
I see what's happening. So, because snake oil salesmen, it's always these kind of dudes. So essentially, to drum up additional monies, I guess, to make the transactions for Pier 1 or Radio Shack, etc., for those multiple companies he bought, he was using investor funds to do that. Classic pyramid scheme. Or not pyramid, Ponzi-like scheme. Which, is a Ponzi scheme a pyramid scheme? That would be an interesting question. So more of a Ponzi scheme. So essentially, you taking all of this money from multiple investors who are investing in these companies that you're buying because they're expecting, oh, you're going to turn a profit of these name brand companies, and instead of using the investment money to put into those companies or something, I guess you just keep the money. So to be fair, oh man, I'm going to say something that probably is bad. What I'm thinking is, to be fair, how could those people think that you're actually going to turn around? What I'm thinking is, you have to be an idiot to think that Tai Lopez is going to turn around and save Radio Shack or Pier 1. It's a stupid thing to buy those companies anyways. There's a reason why they're going under and why they're going bankrupt. So again, I'm not saying it's right to take those investors' monies, but it's an incredibly stupid thing to invest in anyways. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't really feel bad about them having their money taken, because it's just a bad investment anyways. I don't know. I feel two ways. I don't feel bad that they got scammed, but I do still want Tai Lopez to get in trouble because he's a terrible freaking person. So it's like, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm being too harsh. I mean, he had it coming, said Skylar. Well, it's in my head. I think those people deserve to get gotten scammed, but also I still think they should be covered because they did get scammed. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe the people that did that investing, they had to have known that that was a waste of money. Really, I don't know. That's so weird.
Alexander Mayer apparently misappropriated approximately $16.1 million in investor funds, which were diverted for their personal use. They're using it for personal, spending, I guess.
Just bought this new Lamborghini here.
Here in my
According
garage.
to the SEC, according to their allegations. Now, of course, they're going to have a chance to defend themselves, but I have to say, guys, we have to do better than this. If this guy is selling you something, he's saying he's going to turn it all around after years of just bombarding you with grifter ads, I have to tell you, we're in trouble. But I also want to say,
oh, see, CoffeeZilla's even kind of agreeing with me. It's like, guys, why are you giving money to this man? Who is giving money to this man? He's a grifter. He's a con artist. It's like, I don't even know where, like, is it just, I want to say it's just people that are bad at business, but you only get to that level of money and wealth by owning successful businesses. So if you're so successful, I mean, I guess it's got to be just people just throwing money into the wind, right? Like sure, investors know that they're going to lose money by investing into Tai Lopez and whatever his thing is, but maybe they just have so much money that they're just willing to take the risk. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're worth $1 billion and Tai Lopez is like, hey, you mind giving me $1 million? And if maybe this will do really well for you. And I guess maybe that's the case, is that the people that do this stupid investing, they just have so much money that they're just like, sure, here's $1 million, whatever. Let's see if it turns into anything. You know what I mean? It's just, they must just have such a inordinate amount of money that they can just lose $1 million and be fine. And then imagine that on a scale of, like, turn that one person into like 30 or 40 wealthy people that are able to lose $1 million under their seat cushions. You know, that's what it sounds like to me. It's just like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I can't afford to lose $1 million because I ain't got $1 million. So that's what I'm guessing, is he probably got 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 people who have just so much money that he can convince them to give him each like $1 million or just under $1 million, and then take the money. You know what I mean? And it's like those people are just like, they probably don't find out until months later that they're like, oh, I lost $1 million. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Just rich, I guess. Never trust the flexors on the internet, Veronica. One thing I've always learned when it comes to online stuff is if, maybe not even online stuff, in life in general, if someone's trying to sell you something, generally not good. I was going to make a joke. I was going to try and find something to try and sell you guys. Here, buy my name brand, EnteR ChazmaN chapstick. I should start doing it. Veronica Rose. Plus, even if he did revive stores like Radio Shack, I don't think there's enough people to care to buy from them since they haven't had competitors like Amazon or Best Buy. Yeah, it's a no-win proposition. Again, I think that's what's happening is like, because people like me and you guys are smart enough to know Radio Shack and Pier 1 are not coming back. Brick and mortar physical retail is a dying breed. So like it's just a bad investment. So the only thing that makes sense is for Tai Lopez to go, well, Radio Shack's a big name. If I buy Radio Shack, maybe I can get 20 dummies to give me a bunch of money. And then I'll just keep the money. You know what I mean? And I'll promise them the world, you know. And that's got to be what's happening. Is it's got to be rich, wealthy people just taking a risk on something that they can afford to lose. They can dump $1 million into something and forget they ever invested it, you know. And that's got to be what it is. EnteR chapstick. Their sales are booming. I would love to sell my own chapstick. I'd love to sell anything. I need money.
Grifter, and you want to go out there, I have to warn you, do not lie to your investors. They will eventually catch you. I actually spoke to somebody who basically talked about his experience with Tai Lopez. The worst part about it by far were all the lies and omissions. They kind of say like, hey, look, I get that businesses fail, but specifically they were dealing with Maya and getting paid back some of their funds. This was at a time where it was not admitted that these companies were doing very poorly. They were saying, oh, we're doing so great. We're doing so awesome. And so Maya was behind the scenes promising to pay this guy back his wire, and literally sending, according to him, confirmations of the wire transfer while not actually sending the money. Like, and if you guys don't know, that can be, there can be some criminal liability there sometimes. So, you know, incredibly serious accusations. I'll let him tell it.
My name is Jared Getz. I've known of Ty for, you know, obviously many years. He was always, you know, the biggest internet marketer out there. I mean, the deal was great. It was, you know, 20% returns on your money for 2 years. And then there was supposed to be a return of capital after 2 years and a balloon.
So here, wow. Here, so we got one of them on camera. Here's one of the investors I was just talking about. Look at that house. Look at that house. That is who we were just talking about. Some wealthy person who's just like, oh, this guy's promising me X amount, and then I can give him a tiny bit amount of money. And this is the dum-dums where I was just talking about. That's fascinating. He got him on camera, or he did his own video.
Accusations. I'll let him tell it.
My name is Jared Getz. I've known of Ty for, you know, obviously many years. He was always, you know, the biggest internet marketer out there. I mean, the deal was great. It was, you know, 20% returns on your money for 2 years. And then there was supposed to be a return of capital after 2 years and a balloon payment of 40% paid with
20% return for 2 years, and then it would balloon up. So this guy legitimately thought Radio Shack and those companies were coming back, I guess. I just like, how did you get, this guy's super young. This has to be a trust fund baby, right? This guy's like my age. How do you have a house like that at my age? Like, really? Like, this has to be some trust fund wealthy person's kid, because like, how else do you get to be that age and making bad business decisions like that? Like, come on. Like, no, I'm not mean to judge him, but like a 30-year-old with a house like that, like,
your principal returned. And so you know, I threw in, I think it was like $275,000 or something like that.
He threw in. Who has $275,000 to just throw into something? See what I mean? This is what's wrong with modern investing. Is all the money is owned by these wealthy people sitting up at the very top who can just afford to just throw in $275,000 into something random that they have no idea. I mean, I guess that's investing in general, but it's like, bro, I don't. You know how much? You know what I could do with 275 grand right now? Like, come on.
And you know, and they were paying back, you know, monthly interest payments, and things were going really well. And then right around the time when the principal was due, and I'm a very like easygoing, reasonable person. Right around the time the principal was due, you know, Maya reached out and she was like, hey, is it cool if we postpone your payment for like 2 weeks? We're just getting things in order. And you know, they sent a test wire, and I got the test wire, and they said, okay, cool, we sent your wire. And you know, a day goes by, I didn't get it. 2 days go by, I didn't get it. 3 days didn't get it. Hey, you know, Maya, I didn't get the wire. Cool, let me look into it for you. Let me figure out what's going on. About a week later, hey, sorry, Jared, there was an issue with the bank. We're gonna have to try this again. Let me know if you got this other test wire. So next day I get another like $50 wire. Yeah, got it, no problem, great. All right, cool, I'm gonna send the rest of it. Of course, I don't get the wire. I don't hear from them for a few days.
See what I mean? This guy is some wealthy person's kid. How do you get this far in life with that amount of wealth by being this dumb? I'm sorry. I'm going to say it flat out. He clearly, like, this dude is a bag of rocks. Like, come on. Being promised 20% return, they're messing around with you in terms of the wire payments. It's like, bro, you're getting scammed. Oh my goodness.
You know, and then they said they sent the wire again, and I didn't get it. And then I started getting ghosted. And that's when I was like, and to be honest, I'm not the type of person that like, you know, I get it. Investing, you sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But when there's lies and deception and complete and utter disrespect, that's where things start to get hairy. And so I would, you know, start to get ghosted for a little bit longer and longer until it was like, hey, what's going on with this? And you know, it got to a point where she sent me a screenshot. Hey, the wire got sent out. And I'm like, okay, well, if I got a screenshot of a wire, and then I didn't get the wire, of course. And then I got ghosted for like about a month. And at that point, I'm like, hey, like, you know, at this point, it's just rude. Like, can you at least just be on, like, just tell me what's going on? And then I finally hear back from her like a little bit over a month later, and she's like, sorry, I was traveling. I'm like, are you kidding me? You were traveling? Like, I mean, what does that mean to me? And then, you know, we started talking again. And the last message I heard was like, hey, sorry. I think it was her dad. She's like, hey, sorry, my dad died or something. And then I just got completely ghosted from there. And at this point, like, you know,
I'm sorry, I'm traveling. I'm 6 months pregnant. My dad just died. They are giving this dude the workaround.
They had set up these WhatsApp communities with all the investors, which at first there was all this camaraderie and everyone's like, you know, hyping each other up. And then people start getting a little bit weirded out that, you know, and you start to see other people aren't getting their money. And then finally, I don't remember the timeline exactly. It was probably about 6 months later that that we heard that they're going to have to file for bankruptcy.
Now, that's just the short version of the story. But after this, Jared and others went and they basically reported these guys. And of course, now there are charges, at least with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And I think it's good. I don't think you should be able to raise $100 million with various false statements, omissions, misstatements, and you get away with it, especially on the back of your social media profile. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with Ty now that he has gotten these allegations against him, it's not going well. He's still hawking things. This is his Tai Lopez vlog. He wants you to text him a private number, and he's gonna, you know, potentially sell you on something. But, you know, this is just a few days ago. He's talking about the malicious actors that are trying to take you down. It very much feels like, you know, vague posting about what he's actually going through.
And make no mistake, we live in a world where you're trying to be controlled, both maliciously by people and indirectly. There's groups of people that are trying to control you that don't necessarily wake up in the morning and say they want to ruin your life. But the structure of the system is built to control you.
Really? Is the structure of that system a 3-letter word? Is it called the SEC? Now, I only say that because...
Bro, hold on. I'm gonna rub my eyes. Hold on. You're complaining that the structure of the system is out to get you when it let you become a multi-hundred millionaire, and you're complaining that the system is out to get you when you've been allowed to become mega filthy rich, when all you probably had to do is quit the game. You're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Why didn't you just stop when you were worth like 20, 30 million? That way you could avoid getting into trouble. Like, dude, greed is a crazy thing. It's like, yeah, dude, the system's already letting you get away with a bunch of BS, right? Like, they're already letting you become filthy rich. But, like, you realize the bigger and larger you get, well, save unless you're in politics, but you realize for the most part, the bigger and larger you get, the more scrutiny you typically will get on you. And it's like, oh, Veronica Rose in chat said, no, that reminds me of my dad, since he tried to get a mechanic to work on his car, but he kept saying, my dad died, my sister died, my dog died. No, that's crazy. It's just like, dude, these people are, somebody like Ty Lopez is just like, he deserves to go bankrupt. Throw him in jail. He's never going to get it. Somebody like Ty Lopez. He's never going to get over it. He's got to lose everything.
As well as going through that, he also brought on Trevor Milton, who famously got pardoned by Trump after, the whole FBI, indictment and later charges, and he was going to pay back victims until he got pardoned by Trump. And later, the SEC dropped their case as well, because obviously he's pardoned now. But it's interesting to watch Ty Lopez really, love this guy for his message.
This trophy hunting, it's unfair that people, like, for example, Elon Musk has had a run-in with the SEC.
Yeah,
he had
huge.
a big one. And he says, I saw a recent article where Elon said, if I knew what I knew now, I would not have settled. He took a settle. He settled and had to pay a fine, had to step down from being the on the board of directors of Tesla. And it happened again. He's got a thing now. And he just said, I'm not gonna. I saw the SEC. He wouldn't come on the interviews. He's like, I'm done. You've asked me enough questions. And it's clearly a trophy hunting case.
You know,
In your
crazy?
experiences,
I've never met you before. Never met him. Never once ever spoken to you until today. Until I got invited on. It's amazing that so many people have had to come to that same realization mentally. What a special thing. Like, everyone had to go through their battle. I honestly thought it was something unique to what I went through. And now I'm hearing it's coming from you and him and others. Like, well, it actually makes me feel better about my situation, knowing I'm not crazy.
This universe took, but it can also just give back. Donald Trump calls you. It's over.
Well, but being pardoned for something isn't a normal. Being pardoned for something is not a normal way of winning a case. Like, that's essentially a get out of jail free card, even if you're guilty. Like, I'm sorry, but taking a bow and being appreciative for getting a pardon is not like, that's not like I won the case and my lawyer got me out of a bad thing. That's like, just because of favors, someone just is like, nope, you're not in trouble. It's like, but like, I'm just saying, taking that credit is not that doesn't mean you were innocent. That means you got a pardon. That's all that means.
Your pardon.
Dude is wild.
You can almost see Ty hoping for that call himself. Now, look, again, I've talked to some of the investors who've gone through this. It's been horrible trying to get their money back. But also, guys, protect yourself. When somebody grifts and grifts and grifts, do not trust them with your money, please. Ty is still trying to sell stuff to people. He's still trying to push people into stuff. I even got leaked one of Ty's frameworks, and at the bottom of the whole framework is the 3-pillar close, where, just so you guys know, they say if they can't afford it, you first see if they can't afford it on a credit or debit card, and if not, we discuss finance options with Klarna, PayPal Credit, or Elective. So this is the kind of guy you're dealing with, putting your course on Klarna. I don't know what to say. Really bad stuff. Now, I gave Ty an opportunity to respond to the allegations the SEC made. He did not reply. If he does, I will pin it. Okay.
All right, y'all. Well, that was CoffeeZilla or Voidzilla. I did not think I was going to go on that long talking about that. Thank you so much, Coffee. I am getting tired. Well, Let me go back to H3. We did see that they did talk about this as well. I forgot what they said. I'm kind of curious what they had to say about this situation. Where did they talk about Tai Lopez?
You for allowing me to say.
Darn you, Nintendo, for making catchy music. Catchy elevator music. Alright, here we go. Real quick, I just want to see what H3... I forgot what they had to say about this as well. So they did talk about... This is where I first heard about the Tai Lopez stuff. They're the only people, I guess, that care about Tai Lopez, other than CoffeeZilla.
I think when he took off his wig.
Oh yeah.
Shocking.
That both people exist. It's a horrific truth, but we almost face it. So he's back. Is there anything fun at the top we can hit? Oh, we have a ton of
There's quite a few fun clips, and we've been accruing a lot of these. We have MGK cringe that you were really liking.
I got something. I just don't know if it's too good. But
What is that?
Dating
Oh,
Money
'cause
has
you
a new
make-
song.
You think it might be a VOD?
No, because no one knows. Her.
But then send it on over. Let's go.
Huh?
The Dating and Money song. There's a new one.
A new
That's
one?
good too. I was gonna say we got to talk about Tai Lopez.
Well, so Tai Lopez, we all knew he was doing crazy, weird crypto scams. So the FCC has caught on to him, and he's being accused of
my
a
garage.
Ponzi scheme for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh my God.
$112 million Ponzi scheme that he's been accused of
Oh my
by
God.
the SEC. I was reading a little bit about the accusations, and
They're my prison cell.
I thought it was going to be some sort of complex like crypto scam of some kind, but no, it's like the most. And again, this is alleged by the SEC, not by me. So don't come for me, Ty. But it is like the most straightforward Ponzi scheme you could possibly imagine. Like just straight up defrauding shitloads of people out of hundreds of millions of dollars.
What's the end game there?
Crazy.
No?
Huh?
What's the end game there?
To make money?
To run away with a bunch of people's money, I guess.
Yeah.
Or
So
to
by the
just
way,
keep
he's
it
still
going.
posting on social media 5 hours ago. Okay. Hey, dude, you're telling us about wealth right now for 5 hours ago? Bro, the FCC wants you.
SEC, but yes.
All the agencies, the Fs, the Cs, the
FCC,
NAs,
it's
the
like-
SA, the
It's
FBI.
a federal agency that investigates and prosecutes financial crimes.
Wow.
Who wants me to take their money?
And generally have an extremely high conviction rate, meaning like when they're bringing charges, they're almost
Like
always very
99%.
confident.
You're fucked.
And that's the they mentioned it, but that's one thing I forgot to mention though is like when the SEC is the one coming after you, generally, like they were saying, it does mean that you are screwed, buddy. That means they got something. They don't come after you unless they are pretty sure that they got you. Gotcha. Or I do the Kanye. Gotcha. So that's no bueno for him. I don't think that's typically like the early stage. Oh, they're looking at the FBI's looking into him. No, the SEC like they basically got you right now. They got him by the balls.
Yeah.
Ty is in a lot of trouble, I think.
Yeah,
You know
what I'm more proud of than these little chess pieces I whittled out of wood?
Knowledge.
From the from what do you call it? The yard? It's all these books I've read here.
Garage.
Here in my cell.
Here in my cell.
Knowledge.
This guy's gonna go from trading crypto to trading cigarettes. Not so pretty for, and I'll tell you that diet of his is gonna be hard to keep up in prison. He's a very strict diet.
So let me read you like this one excerpt from the CBS article because it makes so much sense. Because we've kind of checked in on Ty every few years, and we did talk about when he purchased Radio Shack.
Yeah.
I believe he also
Getting
purchased
SEC
Pier
involved,
One,
your cooks
like the
and
brand
stuff.
Pier
Yeah,
One
that's
after
not
they went out
good.
of business.
Bizarre.
Dress Barn, I think.
Was
He
it
bought a
Pier One?
bunch.
He bought these like dead brands for
Yeah.
like pennies. Not pennies. You spend millions of dollars to buy the IP, and then he goes, "I'm turning them into a cryptos." I don't even know what the fuck that means.
What?
Well, I don't think it meant any. Well,
Not this one.
based off of this, let's say it doesn't seem like it ever meant anything. The point was to use that name recognition to get people to give him money as investments. And well, let me just read you this excerpt. So he acquired Radio Shack in 2020, 3 years after it went into Chapter 11. In 2023, Unicomer Group acquired Radio Shack, and in 2024 relaunched it as an e-commerce platform. Okay. So somebody bought Radio Shack away from him a couple years ago. So this is all related to what he was doing.
Can you pull it up? Put it on screen.
Huh?
Oh, you just.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So technically, he didn't own Radio Shack anymore. Fascinating. So I guess somebody else actually thought that the name recognition was still pretty big with Radio Shack. So someone directly bought it off of him. Huh. So that means that he was scamming people based off of the other companies that he had. Fascinating. Yeah. So I guess Radio Shack still has a little bit of clout.
Can you pull it up if you're reading an article?
I can't.
Oh.
You can.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll pull it up. You keep going. I'll pull it up.
Anyways, so blah blah blah. The SEC suit alleges that between 2020 and 2022, Mayer, who is his partner, and Lopez made material misrepresentations to hundreds of investors about the bankrupt retailers they had acquired. For example, to entice individuals to invest in their acquisitions, they said their portfolio companies were on fire.
Yep.
I can hear Ty saying that. And that the cash flow was strong. They also told prospective backers that money raised for the company would only be invested in that specific firm. That proved not to be the case, according to the lawsuit, which was filed on Monday in the Southern District of Florida. Contrary to their representations, I'm quoting now, while some of the REV retailer brands, that's Ty's company, generated revenue, none generated any profits. Consequently, in order to pay interest, dividends, and maturing note payments, defendants resorted to using a combination of loans from outside lenders, merchant cash advances, money raised from new and existing investors. They're describing like the most straightforward.
This is like Bernie Madoff shit.
It's Madoff shit, exactly.
What are you doing, man?
Wow.
So money raised from new and existing investors and transfers from other portfolio companies to cover obligations. So he was just.
I have a question.
He was breaking every single financial crime all at once.
I have a question.
Like.
Does that ever work?
I mean,
there's got to be a guy that works for
people get away with it.
Like, I have this giant fucking. I don't have all the money. I owe these people. I need to get a loan from this guy, and then I need to make a bunch of money with it so I can pay them back, and then I pay him back, and then everything's fine. Some guy pulled it off somewhere, and we never heard about it.
No, well, fascinating. Yeah, well, that's all we need to look into. But yeah, what a dumbass. Funny. All right, y'all. Well, shoot, man. We did 3 major topics. 2. Wow, I can't believe I went an hour each on each of those first topics with the Game Chasers guys, Billy, and talking about the EA sale. Goodness gracious. I think I had a good time here. We got to learn about leverage buyouts. Fascinating. All right, y'all. Well, hopefully, we're going to be keeping on doing these ChazmaN lives. I will repeat. I have my own channel now for ChazmaN Live. So literally just type in Enter ChazmaN Live, and again, I'm going to be doing these weekly on the main channel, and then ChazmaN Live will be getting a re-upload, and then that's where I'm going to be putting all the highlights and all of the shorts, YouTube shorts or any kind. Yeah, like I said, I made that channel up from the Enter ChazmaN podcast channel, so I figured why waste an entire YouTube channel. I think that's all I got. This was fun. Made it 2.5 hours even. I'm very happy with that. So what do we got next? If you guys don't know, tomorrow night, I already have it scheduled. We're going to be playing Mad Father, so tune in for that. I think we should be able to finish that game all in one stream. So check that out. And then on Saturday, I think I'm going to prioritize trying to finish Silent Hill Saturday night. So Mad Father tomorrow night, Silent Hill Saturday night. And then anything else I can get going on. I'm still working on other projects. If you want to know one project that has been taking up a good amount of my time, I have finally begun majorly working on my next Dragon Ball video. I know it's been probably a little over a year since I've put out a major one of those, but yeah, finally, now that I'm unemployed, I've been having some time to put into that video, and I feel like it's doing pretty well. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Love you. I will see you guys tomorrow for Mad Father, Mad Daddy, Mad Papa, Mad Faja, whatever you want to call it. All right, everyone. Oh, I forgot to do the normal call-outs. Thank you so much to, who do we got? Skylar Twilight, Odin is Salty, and Veronica Rose. Thank you so much, y'all. This was a fun one. Oh, real quick, I think I should be updated, Skylar. Here you go. There we go. All the socials up on screen. If you want to go to the Patreon, the Discord, Instagram, TikTok-y. Don't forget, we also have the Enter ChazmaN Live now new channel, and we also got the Enter ChazmaN Long Plays channel as well, which I need to upload a new one to that one. I'm doing a bunch. I'm trying to do as much as I can, trying to create for you guys. So, real quick. Oh, here you go, Skylar Twilight. This is for you. So, Patreon support thanks to Skylar Twilight, BioCrash Tim, and Mad Carbon Phantom Fox. So thank you so much, y'all, for your support on Patreon. I appreciate you. Yeah, so I don't know. That's all I got. Thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. So bye, everybody. Ba 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 ba.